You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
The wasteland is a post-apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out, about to see the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, frozen atomic waves. From deep within the core, frozen atomic waves.
Hello and welcome to the 111th edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined by a couple fellows tonight who I love very, very much. Hello, Ray.
Hello, Andrew. How you doing tonight?
Freighter, what's going on, Freighter?
I just finished playing the Fallout beta.
Oh, yeah?
I'm here with you guys.
Sweet. Fallout beta. Ray, you got to play a little bit tonight, too, you said.
I did. I got to squeeze in about an hour.
You guys do anything fun tonight? What'd you do tonight in your beta, Ray?
Well, one thing I discovered was that every time you go back to your camp, it's going to be under attack from, some manner of creature. Typically, it's been either the scorched or some ghouls, but tonight I fast traveled back and there was a bunch of robots. So.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Or is that annoying? Is that bad?
Well, it depends. If they don't have much scrap on them, then they're really annoying. But if they're, if they've got aluminum and steel, then we're golden.
I think I remember Craig saying something like his new settlement had gotten 5 super mutant attacks in a row each time it came back to it. I've yet to run into that issue, as I have done pretty much zero building. I just plopped my camp down and I just use that for storage. Basically, I haven't built a camp at all or anything. So maybe that's why I'm not getting attacked, because there's nothing there to attack. Just my little campsite thing, the little workbench, robot bench thing.
Yeah, I wonder if it's similar to Fallout 4, where your defenses have to balance out against your food and water.
Oh, well, there you go. That makes sense.
Just a guess.
And would that be measured against water that is actually being produced by your stuff, or just what is stored in your camp? Is that enough? Like, they're like, oh, we can sense you have water. They don't even see your water purifier?
I don't know. I don't have anything going. All I have in my camp is a bed and a weapons bench and 3 turrets on top.
You can make a weapons bench already. That's great. I haven't even checked to see what I can and cannot do yet. I found a water purifier last time I was playing, but I haven't yet to build anything. I just keep... Either I go back to my camp thing, or I use the teapot. The teapot building that's got those the stash boxes, which I was sort of skeptical at first, but now I love the stash boxes, having those hidden around. Now I don't have to fast travel all the time. Sometimes there's just a stash box, like, a quarter mile over the hill or whatever, and I don't have to go all the way back to my actual property to dump that. I think that's a fun new mechanic in the game.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Resident Evil.
I didn't know that. There's supposedly something with mailboxes in New Vegas or something where you could have access to stuff all over the map. Am I making that up? Did that?
No, it's the courier boxes.
Okay, yeah. So,
but those you had to send to a specific location.
You just didn't have access all over the map or anything.
Yeah,
okay.
It went to another courier box.
Right. Neat. Right. Now, Freighter and I ran around this evening a little bit.
And Mo.
And I was just about to say, there was a duration of time when my character was staring at the sky, running around, jumping, firing at the grounds, running in circles. And I'm sure Freighter's like, what the fuck are you doing, Andrew? So my 3-year-old had the controller, and I let him run around the countryside. He loves it. Call me a bad parent, I dare you, out there.
He certainly got a lot of radiation.
Yeah, by the time I looked at it, he had like 60, 70% radiation. I was like, oh, damn. But I always get that, okay, when you upload a just some sort of random pic from your phone, You took a screen cap on your phone, and you're just going to upload it to the internet. And people start making comments that have nothing to do with your post, but they're noticing your stupid battery level. Like, oh, your battery's about to run out. You better watch out. You know, people do that to me all the time with my Fallout picks because I don't give a fuck about radiation usually. Like, I'll carry 50% radiation. I don't care. And then people are like, I posted this really cool screen cap, and then people are like, "Oh my god, your radiation's so high. You better check that out, man. I'll go get that radiation checker." It's like, that's not what the picture is about, douchebag. That's not. Come on, it's not about my radiation.
Look at my damn hat.
It's my hat, which Victor thinks looks like a nipple. So there.
What's a nice nipple?
I see his point.
Have you seen that hat? It's got an areola and everything.
It is a wild hat.
Great. So I bought a cool floppy pink hat in the Atom store, and today I just bought my second piece as we were kicked off the server with like 10 or 15 minutes left. I was kind of salty about that, but I got kicked off the server with a few minutes left, but it still let me access my photos. So I went to my photo mode and sort of took a couple screen caps of those because I want to upload them. But the Xbox app for some reason only recognized about half of my screen caps for some reason. I don't like the Xbox app. It fucking doesn't pick up half the things I put into it for some reason. But so after I captured some screen caps of what I could transfer over to Xbox, I opened up the what's it called? Is it just Atom Store? What is that thing called?
Yeah, I think so.
The Atom Store, and where I bought that nice pink floppy hat. And this time I got an all black jumpsuit coverall set. I bet you it looks a lot like the Responder medic suit that was just probably without the patches or something. But I'm pretty excited to be running around in a floppy hat and my black coveralls. I'll feel like a floppy spy or something. I don't know. That'll be great. All right. Any other highlights you guys want to get into Fallout 76 real quick before we hop into our feedback this evening?
I'm certainly looking forward to the game, being full on and, be able to play whenever I have time.
Yeah, when is that? Next Wednesday, right?
Yep.
Wednesday the 14th, probably? 14th, yeah. So is that really technically Tuesday night at midnight that we'll have access, or how does that work?
I think the Xbox one gets it at, it'll be midnight Eastern time, so I get to play at 9 p.m.
You mofo.
It'll be the same time as you, just feels different to me.
But you get it 3 hours earlier in your perspective. It's like you're living in the future. What about Australia and Japan? Do they get it like 12, 14 hours before us?
Maybe. But then aren't they cheating and playing the beta a day ahead of us down in Australia?
Yeah, they live in the future, those jerks. Kia ora, jerks. All right. We got tons of feedback to get into, so I better stop dilly-dallying here, and we should get into this. This is our last batch of feedback. I'd like to thank every single person who hung out with us all season long with the roundtable this season. It was a great season. Season 6, I think, is our best one yet. We had a nice dedicated batch of feedback folks, and just to name a few of them off throughout the season here, Carrie, Steve, Josh, Leon, Mark, Michelle sent in some feedback. Freighter, you sent in stuff. I said Josh, Jen, and Rebecca. You guys, we really couldn't do this show without all you guys. So, and Chris, and another Chris, and there's email folks too. Everyone who sent in feedback all season long. It's really greatly appreciated. This is a fun project we like to do. And we took a risk by saying, oh, we got to include our community into this. But you guys have been hitting the ball out of the damn park all the whole project long, and this season was no exception. So kudos to all of you out there for your wonderful feedback, your character creation, and taking us into the depths of your psyche there with your characters and your background roles and everything. It's been a lot of fun. So without further ado, we'll kick off with Leon.
Ad Victorium Wastelanders. G'day, this is Leon, sending in my final feedback for this particular roundtable. After listening to this last episode, I have to honestly defend the Brotherhood. So once I start doing my terminal entries, it will be as Scribe Leon for the Brotherhood of Steel, doing an audio transcription of terminals located at various locations, starting with listing post Bravo. I honestly have to say that probably the Minutemen is my least favorite faction
We're gonna
of
fight Leon.
Fallout 4. Mainly because of Preston. He's just so freaking annoying. Brotherhood, okay. If you come at it from the mindset, I've had characters that, because, Nate or Nick or whatever his name is, the main character, the male player character is supposed to be ex-military. So I've role played him as, falling in line with the Brotherhood and working his way up. And if you kind of go with that role play, it's very easy to understand that putting Paladin Dance down after you realize he's a synth is really part of the Brotherhood's ideals. I can understand why, somebody that's not Brotherhood wouldn't like that. I do get a little uncomfortable with the pressuring some of the settlements to feed the Brotherhood. So usually it's just a payment, which if you have enough water farms is pretty easy. But overall, I'm not a hater of the Brotherhood. I kind of like most of the factions for different reasons, but it really depends on my character. I've role played characters that love the Brotherhood, and then I've role played characters that hated the Brotherhood. Let's see, Minutemen, same thing. Preston really annoys me, so I tend not to play a Minutemen playthrough unless I'm doing like a multi-faction, kind of like a Minutemen Railroad playthrough, or even a Minutemen Brotherhood of Steel, where it's more for the good of the Commonwealth. Just a plain straight Minutemen playthrough, I think I've only done once or twice. The Railroad, they're not the innocents that they all make out to see. You got to remember, think about what happens if you do the entire storyline as a railroad agent, and then what happens to Patriot. I mean, they're kind of jerks in some ways. I mean, it's for the greater good, for the sense, I understand, but I mean, some of the things they do are very, very questionable. Just, in the aspects of some of the things they do, because, there's a lot the railroad has to answer for in its own way. But at least they're trying to help other people and stuff. Institute, well, Institute's not exactly the best, but they do, they have good intent for, betterment of humanity as a whole. And if you really want to think about it, yeah, they're real jerks, but the technology they have and the ability to, help mankind in the long run, it's one of those, the ruling elites will control the masses. I've done an Institute playthrough several times. The first time I ever played, I played through as an Institute, and it was sort of the Mama Bear character, because I tend to play females the first time through on Fallout games. But it was sort of the Mama Bear character, finding Sean and then realizing, oh, okay, well, I can't kill him, so I'm going to go through with the work for the Institute. And I've done several of them. Like I said in the last feedback, when we were doing the Cappy in a Haystack, I tend to role play my character. So, like, I did an Institute character where I took over the Raiders, and what it was is the Institute were the silent menace, and then any settlement that kind of talked bad about the Institute, like Covenant or something like that, well, as the overboss, that's where I sent my Raiders. And then, oh, well, what happens if every once in a while when a settlement's getting attacked, the Institute synths show up and save that settlement? No, maybe now we'll have a different attitude towards our synths. And then there's also the fact that I can bleed in synths to the different population. And the Institute's well known for replacing people. It'd be very easy to replace every leader of the different gangs. And next thing you know, I got a big old army of raiders, and if some of those raiders happen to get turned into synths, get traded in for synths, that could be a really interesting thing. I've done that a couple times, played that different ways. So, anyways, now to the feedback. I did the UFO crash site last time. I've done, like I said, my character Davis mod death, so I really can't. I could go back a while, but I'm never going to be able to do In-Sheep's clothing in the time needed. Sentinel site and the Federal Surveillance Center, I've done them before, and they're pretty cool. I really like them. I have done the Surveillance Center before the Pridwin shows up and after, And from what I believe I remember correctly is that if you do it before, then the Brotherhood of Steel doesn't say that. And one thing on that final entry, it says the database is under like the Brotherhood of Steel's control. I always took that to mean they just wiped the database, took pretty much most of the good information off of it, all the technical specs and stuff, and just took it back to the Pridwin. So that's what I always took it to be. Sentinel site, I don't know if I've ever actually went to Far Harbor, became a Children of Adam, and then went to the Sentinel site. So I don't know if I've ever actually gotten that extra dialogue path. I'm gonna have to try that at some point. I don't know when because Fallout 76, but I'm actually going to try that because I can't remember if I've ever done that. So I have done in sheep's clothing a long time ago, but it's been forever, so I don't really remember much about it. Sorry. So now I mentioned Fallout 76 earlier. So I'm one of the early doubters. I don't like PvP. I'm going to be pacifist mode pretty much 90% of the time. I can PvP. I've PvP'd in MMOs in the past, but I just don't like it. I'm bored with that play style. So I've had a couple of people come up and like try to shoot me or something like that. I do the question mark emote and just kind of look at them like, "What are you, an idiot?" And then I turn and walk away, kind of thing. I haven't had anybody kind of follow me or whatever. But I have to admit, overall, I'm really impressed with Fallout 76. I'm really digging it. I'm playing solo. I have not yet seen anybody that I know in game except one time I did see Andrew log on. I think you said in the last podcast that you had seen me, or maybe it was one before. And so I did. I did see you get on, but I was right in the middle of reading some terminal entries and stuff. I just got into that first town you get to after seeing the Overseer's camp, and I was listening to stuff and piecing together things, so I didn't have a chance to say hi. And then I think it wasn't long after that. I think an event happened or something, and then, anyway, so I just didn't get a chance to say hi. But I'm trying to friend everybody. Excuse me, still a little bit sick. I'm trying to friend everybody that puts their name on the Facebook thing. So all I've gotten to for main quest wise is the first town with the responders. I'm just now fixing to head to the airport.
Let's not get into spoilers
I'm
here,
really
Leon.
kind of interested in the factions. I don't know which way this character is going to go yet. I'm not really that in. I don't really like the responders with this character.
All right, hang on. Should I keep going, guys? Because we're definitely gonna have a policy for like a month here where we won't get into any spoilers. Because the game drops on the 14th. We're rolling characters for the roundtable on December 8th, which means we won't actually get into actual quests until the week after. So that's a good full month where we will be without spoilers. How much longer is your feedback here, Leon? I don't know if we can let that roll, buddy. What do you guys think? It sounds like he was going to talk about stuff like more in depth than.
Well, I think we've made it clear that there might be spoilers. So,
okay. All right. Well,
go ahead.
All right, we'll let it roll. Sorry, Leon, to interrupt, bud.
I'm playing kind of a loner character, and she actually, when she left the vault, she ignored the Overseer for a while and just went exploring. Hey, I'm out of the vault. I can actually run around and do stuff. I found a group of super mutants. They killed me. I found a house with a banjo and a couple other things you could actually play. And then I found a house with some Scorch that one of them had the guitar sword, but it's level 15, so I can't play it yet. Then I found a really cool place that I set up my camp. It's close to an abandoned shack, and there's a pond a little bit further down that you can set your camp up at. And there's almost always an animal spawning there. So I got like a possum bacon and fox meat and beaver. Beavers don't drop meat for some reason. It's always beaver teeth. A couple others, and then right across the pond are some hives with the bee swarms, which are really cool. And you can get honey. I don't know what the honey is good for, but anyways. And then just a little bit further back, there's a logging place. And at that logging place, there's a bunch of protectrons that when you walk up to them, they will literally just hand you wood, because that's like their job is to keep getting wood, and they don't have no place to dump it. So I'm getting lots and lots of wood. So I am really, really, really digging Fallout 76. Really enjoying it. So we'll see how things go. The one thing I kind of wish there was a better repair mechanic, because I hate the fact that I have to break everything down and then put it back in and all that. I just wish that, hey, it's like, New Vegas, where a Bowie knife can turn into repair another Bowie knife just there. I understand why they don't do that, but at the same time, it's like I have to break it down and then convert it and all that, blah, blah, blah. So whatever. But I've got a Bowie knife. I've got a bladed crowbar. I finally got a 10mm pistol, just the last beta. And from there, I'll see y'all when we see you in the wasteland. Oh, one last thing. Last beta. This is the second, by the way. So the beta on the first, I got my power armor frame. I found a power armor frame. So now I have my power armor frame. So one more time, ad Victorium, Wastelanders.
Man, you and your stupid Brotherhood attitude, Leon. I think you can just come on here into this show and start shoving around, bowling a china shop, Brotherhood of Steel style, and just imposing your dummy technology, stealing punk ass stuff all over our goodly, kind Preston loving guys over here. That's just uncalled for, and we won't stand for it anymore. Men live forever. Come on. How rude, Leon. No, but seriously, that's pretty awesome. I really enjoyed how you're doing the Institute with manipulating the leaders of Nuka World and then using raider bases to infiltrate synths by replacing raiders. That's really fun. That's a really cool little role play. I like that a lot. Now, he was saying the Brotherhood of Steel database down there in the basement means they just wiped it clean. Didn't someone say that they saw some sort of terminal that said it was hooked up? Networked or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have the message on mine at all, so.
Oh. And what was that? It was whether you go before or after the Brotherhood showed up, and you haven't been playing the main quest, so the Brotherhood hadn't showed up yet, right?
Right.
Okay. Leon, I don't know if it was a slip of the tongue, but you said the guitar sword is level 15, so I can't play it yet. Can you play the weapons that are instrument based? Are there other ones besides the guitar sword? Have we seen?
That's the only one I've seen.
Man,
there's plenty of real instruments like banjos and.
I haven't really found many. Do you have to go to specific areas to find those? Or is there like a music store? Or
where you first come out of the vault, if you just go straight down the hill to the left, there's a little hut there that has a banjo and a mouth harp. Those are pretty easy to find.
I play guitar, but that was in the vault, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Leon, sorry for hopping your case about spoilers. I thought that you were going to get into main quest stuff. There, you said you were going to get into the main quest, and then you went off onto something else. Like, I should have just let it play. Sorry about interrupting there, but
yeah, it ended up being more tips that'll help out newbies.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see, he's defending the Brotherhood of Steel. He said the railroad is not so innocent. I agree with that. The Minutemen are boring. Blah. The betterment of humanity through the Institute. Okay. There was also a group of people who was trying to, go through make in their eyes what they thought was the betterment of humanity, Leon, by killing other people. Called the Nazis, buddy. Let's not get too friendly with the Institute, shall we? Come on. Gee whiz. Leon,
Yeah.
bring the heat.
I don't have much use for the factions anyway, so.
No, well, you hate everything, right? I don't even know why you play the game. You just kill it all.
One of the best things about this character, Jang Jun, is that Preston and those guys are still sitting up at the top of the museum.
Yeah. There was one playthrough where they were in not balcony. What's it called? I don't know, the waiting room. I don't even know, whatever, the vestibule or whatever. So where they go downstairs and they're waiting there for you. I left them there numerous times. Yeah, that's great. Stay there. And the Brotherhood, they never show up. That's what that means.
Yeah, no brother. Well, and I haven't been anywhere near Concord. I haven't been anywhere near
So-
Cambridge.
That must mean that nothing from the Institute really launches either, right?
No.
Sorry, sneezing over here. Jeez.
And the only reason I hooked up with the railroad was because it was my assigned faction.
Yeah. So that's interesting to know. If you don't, you have to speak to President Garvey really to kick all the rest of the stuff off. So in essence, Leon, Preston is the game. Goodness. All right. Thank you, Leon, for the feedback. You guys got anything else there? Sorry. Oof. God, I hope I'm not getting those cold. Got sniffles and sneezing over here all over the place. Pardon me.
One thing you discover pretty quickly in Fallout 76 is that if you just go around exploring, you level up a lot slower. There's plenty to do and see, but you just you don't have those quests to help you level up.
Yeah, I was actually noticing that too, Ray. But it wasn't an active thought till you just mentioned it. But I was noticing today, the last couple times we're playing, I was just randomly running around doing stuff, looking for fucking wolf blood. But this time, I was actually working on the main quest. And I cashed in 2 quests, and I leveled up like 3 times. It's crazy how much XP you get for the quest, but you get almost nothing for doing the random stuff out and around.
Yeah, I still haven't figured out the the restart, not respawn, but when you leave the game and come back.
Yeah,
it seems to be pretty random where it drops you off. So.
Oh, it says you're supposed to be near where you left. I just read that earlier today.
Yeah.
Have you not found that to be true?
No, not really, because the last beta I played before tonight, I had gone back to my my camp just before the timer clicked, and when I started up tonight, I was back where I had fast traveled from.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's a quick fast travel back. But
well, yeah, except for I spawned right next to a Grafton monster and a bunch of those little commie robots.
I still haven't.
So I spent the first couple of seconds of the game dying.
Yeah.
Wah, wah. I still haven't even seen any of the West Virginia specific monsters yet. I haven't seen the Grafton monster. I haven't seen the Mothman. I haven't seen the Snaggle. What is it called?
Snallygasters.
Snallygasters. I have seen one of those, but
yeah, the Grafton monster and the Scorch Beast are the only ones that I've seen so far.
I did see a Scorch Beast off in the distance, but I did not engage. I avoided it. I was still low level at that point. Still pretty low level. I'm only level 12. Freighter, you said you had a character up to level 17 or something already, and a friend with up in the 20s?
Yeah. My friend, he works for me. He's like 16, right? So that's all he does. Is play games. So he leveled up pretty quick. He's been in every one of the betas so far. So I got up to, it was probably about level 17. It was less than 20.
Hey, Freighter, thanks for making them listen to the podcast, right?
Yeah.
Did you even hear me? I said thanks for making him listen to the podcast, Freighter.
Yeah.
Come on. We need the big bucks over here.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Leon, for that awesome feedback. Let's go into Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca.
Hello, everyone. This is Rebecca with the final update on Flash. This week's quests all seem to be broken for me, so this is just a goodbye from Flash. She's had an incredibly traumatic time since we first saw her, standing at the mirror chatting to her husband, not realizing that her world was about to come crashing down around her. The bombs fell, her husband was murdered, and her baby kidnapped, and she was ejected back out into the world over 200 years later. By the time she found Sean, he was an old man and died within days of their reunion. Everyone she knew before the war is dead. Everything she knew before the war is gone. She's been forced to fight for her life on numerous occasions and has killed many people. This is so against her nature that she realizes now she's been disassociating in order to keep going. Many people have also asked her for help, and she's done her best to support them. However, these acts of kindness have done nothing to outweigh the terrible things she's found herself doing. She's in crisis. Her life has been destroyed. Before the war, she had goals and ambitions, a meaning and a reason to be alive. Now she's got nothing. Now that she's not busy searching for Sean or busy helping other people, she realizes that she feels like an empty shell. There's no purpose to her life anymore. She feels dead inside. Yes, she's the head of the Institute, but she has nothing in common with those people. She's not really interested in what they're doing and doesn't really want to be a part of it. She's in a relationship with Piper, but she now wonders whether she got into it because she felt lost and vulnerable. She needs time to think and just be on her own. She remembers an abandoned shack out in the glowing sea and decides to take a leaf out of Virgil's book and hide out there. She grabs her hazmat suit and loads Angeline up with everything she can carry. She tells Piper that she needs some time alone and heads out. The abandoned shack seems like the perfect place for her. The constant radstorms are a bizarre comfort for her, not only because they make her feel invincible and remind her of that day about 240 years ago when she was struck by lightning, but also because it makes it unlikely that she will ever be disturbed by another human being. So we leave Flash, sitting in the abandoned shack on a patio chair by a dining table. A radstorm crackles around her, and Angeline stands guard outside. What will become of Flash, we will never know, because for us, her story ends there. That's all for this time. Thank you for listening to this and all of my other feedback, and I'll see you in the wasteland.
Wonderful, Rebecca. Thank you for your feedback all season long and your brand new project, Fallout Terminal Velocity. I'd like to encourage anyone out there. We're still recruiting people to read terminals as if you are wastelanders out there and stumbling upon terminals and holotapes and letters and any other sort of cool stuff that you find along the way. If you want to participate in the project, we've been playing some samples on the show. If we have time tonight, we'll get into episode 4 of that. But we got a lot of feedback, so I don't know if we'll actually get to it or not. But Rebecca, thanks for putting that together. So again, if you're interested in participating in the Fallout Terminal Velocity project, please contact us at thefalloutfeed@gmail.com. Thank you. Let's see. That's really great. Flash was one of my favorites to follow all season long. You really have a talent with storytelling, Rebecca. And I really hope that you will keep up and play with us through Fallout 76. We will be turning our attention as a show to Fallout 76 here for a while, but we definitely will not leave Fallout 4 forever. We'll be back to her. That's really sad you had to break up with Piper, but I love that you're going out to the glowing sea to sort of, let it ride. Are you... I thought that you were setting up that you're going to go into discover the bunker in the shack. It'd be interesting. So that also brought up a thought in my mind. When you guys finish a roundtable character, you ever go back to it? Is she done? Is she going to kill Flash? Do you guys ever go back to old characters for roundtable stuff? Do you keep all... Ray, you start characters every 20 minutes. Do you keep all these? Do you trash stuff?
I think I may have deleted 2 characters in the entire time. They were so badly glitched out that that I didn't have any choice. But no, they're all hanging around, and they've got their little mod list in a folder. in case I ever need to go back to them. A lot of them have profiles in my mod manager.
You stated in case I need to go back to them. Under what circumstances would you need to go back and check out on what character?
If I have an idea, that they would be suited to play.
Sweet, cool.
But most of them are just taking up space on my hard drive.
And I assume that they're not small files on the PC either.
No, thankfully I've got a lot of storage.
Yeah, of course you do, Ray. Of course you do. Thank you again, Rebecca, for your wonderful feedback all season long.
Super storytelling all season long.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful work. Kia ora.
Kia ora koto, everybody. Steve here with my feedback for Slinger. We last left Slinger, and she needed to set up 3 raider settlements in order to get us to where we could turn on the power to Nuka World. So I had started with the slog. I ended up also turning County Crossing into one of the vassal settlements. The whole raider settlement system is weird, but kind of cool. So raiders hate farming, and you need to have vassal settlements that supply food. Well, once you turn a settlement into a vassal, you can't build or recruit there. They're locked down to as they are. So you may want to build them up first a bit before you do that, which is what I had been doing with Timmy in preparation for this, but I was running Sim Settlements and Rise of the Commonwealth, which kind of does it for you. You just dump a bunch of junk, armor, and weapons in, and the settlers do everything else for you. But with Slinger, she had headed right to Nuka World, so none of my settlements were even discovered. I'm just going to see how it goes, though, and just keep making them vassal settlements. I may have to make more of them, though. They also send caps to the raiders, so you get a bit of caps rolling into your overboss trunk and fizz top. I haven't found it too much, though. I also ended up taking Murkwater Construction and giving it to the Disciples, and then the Starlight Drive-In to the Pack. So that's 3 right there that I claimed. 3 raider settlements. I also took Grey Garden and Abernathy Farm as vassal settlements. I figured those would be good because they got a lot of crops there already. That's kind of why I took Murkwater and Starlight and made them raider settlements, because there wasn't any farming there to start with. So I figured that's my logic. In between, I also did some Radiant quests for Nisha of the Disciples and Mason, the head of the pack, or the pack alpha, if you will. They usually involve collaring someone, which is putting a slave collar on them, or taking out a group of mobs somewhere, that kind of thing. After I took the 3rd raider outpost, I ended up returning to Nuka World to talk to Shank. Shank is the guy that sets up all these jobs for you. Well, the operator started firing at me. I knew it was going to happen at some point, but it still surprised me. I'd forgot when it happens after the 3rd raider settlement, apparently. And so then they told me that Mags, the head of the operators, was up at the power plant and they had claimed it, because they're angry because I wasn't giving them any territory. And worked my way up there and wiped her out. And then Slinger was then able to turn on the plant and restore power to the park. Yay! Yeah, and now there's lights all over the place and stuff. Yeah. Our next step was to head over to the Nuka World Red Rocket. I wanted to check that place out. I wasn't sure how that was going to work, but apparently when you first use the workbench, Nuka World has tons to do and a really different way to play the game, but it's pretty fucked up.
Sorry, I bumped it.
The record skipped.
Exactly.
It was going to happen at some point, but it's still surprise lights all over the place, and you have to do the one where you take out all the gangs.
There we go. Sorry.
And so anyways, at the Red Rocket, I put the pack in there. Maybe I'll build it up. I was thinking about making it a main settlement or something, but I'd been dropping my junk in Fisttop Mountain. But the raider settlements share a workbench, like there's a provisioner between them. and not but that's what they do. They share, so they share junk in between them. But there's no other crafting benches there, and I don't want to put all the points into perks to like make the crafting benches there. So that's a limitation. Um, all the crafting, there's a bunch of crafting benches at Fizztop Mountain, but they're not linked either. So you can't like dump all your junk into a workbench and then go to the armor bench and start crafting. You have to actually take whatever crafting materials you need to the armor workbench or take them to the gun workbench. So kind of a pain. And now now I have in my miscellaneous section, there's some sort of miscellaneous follow-up quest to make a total of 8 raider settlements. Wow. Okay. So I'm gonna see about doing that. Now that the park's powered up, you can go back and ride all the rides. I really only did the one roller coaster in Galaxy Quest Land so far, and that was cute. I assume there's some sort of achievement for riding all the rides. All the robots are back now and friendly. I just finished going through this place though. Not sure I really want to go back through it all again just to ride the rides. I don't know. I decided to collect all the Scav magazines. The last one, Scav number 5, was the hardest for me to figure out. I would have never found it if I hadn't looked it up on the internet. It's in an employee only section of Dry Rock Gulch, and it's super unintuitive to even realize it's there. The door is hidden on the outside of the park, and it's only openable once you restore power. Or there's apparently some sort of crazy way where you get up on a bottle, jump up on a hedge, and then follow it along, go up a wall, jump over here, jump there, and then you can get in there. And then you have to fast travel out because there's no way out of there. But anyway, that magazine's fun. It's called that No Caps of Rage, and what it does is it gives you +1 and +1 strength and +1 endurance if you have uh, more than 10,000 caps, or it gives you uh, 2 strength and 2 endurance if you have. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, +1 plus strength if you have less than 10,000 caps, +2 and plus strength and +2 endurance if you have less than 1,000 caps, and +3 strength and +3 endurance if you have less than 100 caps. I thought that was interesting. I bought a bunch of ammo and now I have less than 100 caps. And I don't know how long that'll last though. Yep. And I also located the last of the star cores. One was in the Nuka Cade and the other was on the roof of the starport Nuka. So I ended up getting the quantum power armor, first time I've ever gotten it in a game. And kind of a bummer because I wanted that for Timmy. He was an all power armor build. Everything was all built around power armor for him. But he's not here, so it sits at Fizz Top Grill. Yeah. I also did the first couple of the quest, Amoral Combat, which is where your job as the overboss is to take out people that make it through the gauntlet. So when you're running through Nuka World, someone comes up and says, "Hey, boss, somebody made it through the gauntlet. You gonna go take them out?" And yeah, Slinger did head to the Glowing Sea and visited the Sentinel site and the Federal Surveillance Center K-21B. Both are fun locations, good for some loot and XP. They both have magazines. Nothing too crazy happened there, just the standard, sting wings outside the Sentinel site and ghouls and killing stuff. And I had to load up on some Radix and Radaway, even though I was wearing a gas mask, which helped. But I didn't go to the aliens crash site or do in sheep's clothing. Done the alien crash site a million times. And sheep's clothing, well, you need to finish the main quest. I haven't done that. Think I may head to Diamond City next, maybe, to kill Travis and have Shane Kowalski take over the radio. Or maybe I'll turn Somerville Place into a vassal settlement and enslave that father and his 2 kids. Oh, Man, this just got really dark. Whew. Content-wise, Nuka World has tons to do and a really different way to play the game, but it's pretty fucked up. If you're looking for something different, try going there from level 1 and go full Raider. It's a different game. All right. Well, thanks all, and I'll see you in the wasteland.
That's really weird. Have you guys done that? Freighter, I bet you've done that, right?
Yeah, I did a little bit of that. I don't really remember much of it though.
What's the taking the father and the 2 kids hostage? Good lord. And fucking
Yeah, I
Shane.
didn't go that far.
What? Okay. Killing Travis? What the fuck? What? What is this? I don't think I've ever heard of that. Is that strictly if you're a Raider side Nuka World type thing and replacing him?
No.
That's
Although I don't, I had read about that one time and thought, all right, I got to try that, and so I did. But the kid never showed up.
How fucking unsurprised am I, Ray, that you would kill poor Travis? You're heartless.
I'm sure I did it. I'm sure I did it quickly.
That makes it so much better, I guess. Kill Travis. Weird. I love have you guys, if he's posted a couple pictures in the Facebook group recently, Steve has of his character there. He mentioned he's wearing a gas mask and he's got a gas mask and a top hat. I bet you it's Oswald's top hat. It's a really, really cool look. And then it like made me like flash back to something like it's like there's a character in pop culture that has the gas mask and top hat, but I couldn't place it. It's like, God, that looks very
like Spy
familiar.
versus Spy from Mad Magazine.
Oh, Spy versus Spy was great. Oh man, I can't believe that hasn't been turned into a movie. Oh, that shit was the best. Love that so much. Yeah, it's kind of like Spy versus Spy. That's funny. Good call, Ray.
Yeah. So this character is really hard for me because every time he says the name, my sister has a dog named Slinko, and so that's all I hear.
Is that dog a leader of a Raider gang?
No, he's a mutt.
Oh, okay, good. I was worried for a second. It's really sad Timmy didn't get a chance to get the Nuka power armor. I assume you guys have all done that. I've gotten it once. Is it leveled or is it always X1?
I'm pretty sure it's X01 always.
And then
you have to be a certain level just to be able to even go there.
I have no idea. I think don't you have to get power to the park and that's it? Or you have to get all the star cores? I don't even remember.
I imagine if you can pull off all of that, you're probably high enough level that you'd have a X01 anyway.
Yeah, probably. What are the power armors in Nuka World? There's the Nuka power armor. There's something over in the brewing plant, right?
Yeah, the bottling plant.
The
Galactic Zone.
Galactic Zone has one. What about the? Can you take it off the? Can you trick the guy in the beginning to get into and the? You know what I'm talking about? The bumper cars guy with the squirt gun in the beginning. Can you trick him out of his power armor and get his power armor?
I don't have to trick him. I just take it. I've got a mod.
Oh, jeez, right? I know you can take the pieces off of it, but I didn't know if you could actually take his frame.
Yeah, no, not unless you got the mod.
Yeah. Cito definitely doesn't have any power armor. Yeah, I think that's it. Steve, great feedback all season long. Do you guys he talked for a long period in the beginning there about vassal settlements. Can you just? I have no idea what the hell he's talking about with that. So I assume there's other people out there who have no idea what he's talking about. Can someone please fill me in?
When you pick who you're siding with the raiders, you then start picking settlements to take over, which can be ones that you've already settled, or it can be just random settlements that you haven't even been to yet. And I think the way it works is if you've already settled it, it's locked in the way it is there. But if you haven't been there yet, then it's just a barren nothing.
And so the settlements that you take will fill up with, instead of settlers, it'll fill up with raiders.
And I think you pick the gang they're from too.
Yeah. And so then, they're just a bunch of raiders, so they're not going to do any work.
Yeah, he said they hate farming, but you're responsible for feeding them as well somehow too?
Yeah.
Well, how does that work?
Because it's just like a regular settlement. You have to have food and water for the settlers. So the way to do that is to go to a settlement that has a farm and water, and make them provide the raider settlement with supplies. And that's when you make them the vassal settlement.
That's interesting. So how's that mechanic work? Do you go to a settlement and it just brings up a dialogue that says, I now want you to provide these raiders with sustenance or something? How's that work?
Now what you do is you go over and you either kick all their asses and kill the Minutemen that are there with them, or you can pay them off and bribe them to pay you off later. Hey, everybody.
Steve, I didn't sneak in. What's going on? We just listened to your feedback, man.
I caught that. Yeah. So I'm jumping in.
Sweet. Thanks for hopping on.
So I've always been taking the option to kick their ass and kill the Minutemen that are there with them, even though I've never seen Preston in this game.
Huh. Interesting. I've never done any of that Raider stuff. So there's still aspects of this game that, even how much I've played, I still need to play it more, I guess. It's crazy. Okay, what is this thing you're talking about that gives you +1 strength and endurance if you're over 10,000 caps? If you're under 1,000, you get 2. If you're under 100, you get 3. What is that?
It's one of the scav magazines that you pick up, and it gives you a perk, just like the other magazines give you a perk.
It's amazing. So all the that's a really cool. I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's kind of trippy.
Was that your favorite scav magazine?
It was. That's why I mentioned it.
Do you remember any others off the top of your head?
One was to give you a plus to like using knives or melee damage. And what were the other ones here? Okay, so yeah, one increases your speech challenge success. So pretty typical. One's plus 25% combat knife and switchblade damage.
Oh.
One's 10% hand-to-hand weapon damage, and one is plus 5% explosives damage. But I never got that one because it's locked behind a master lock in the Grandchester Mystery Mansion.
Ooh. You have Kate.
True. I think that's what you said you were doing, either bringing Kate or a robot there.
Yeah, that's how I do it. I was thinking instead of making another settlement take care of your raiders, would it be possible to go ahead and build your? Would they just destroy a farm if it was there? Will they destroy the crops like they usually do?
If you're taking it as a vassal settlement,
okay,
you go in and you basically kill all the people, even though it doesn't kill them, and then they get back up, except for the Minutemen.
Hey, take it easy on the Minutemen. They're having a hard show.
I know. And then when you go take the settlement as a raider outpost, it does kind of tend to destroy the crops, but that's okay. You want to just get rid of them anyway.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, what if you brought some robots to tend to the crops? Would they put food into the workbench, and then would the raiders take that food out of the workbench themselves, or do you have to seriously babysit these guys?
I don't. Well, yeah, you got to babysit them, of course, but I'm not sure about the robot farming for you. I know apparently you can set up a robot as a provisioner. It's some sort of glitch in the game. It shouldn't let you link to your other workbench, but it does from the raider settlements.
Sweet.
I didn't try that though. I haven't gone through the automatron in this playthrough.
Great.
There's already enough to do.
So much to do. You got 8 raider factions to go, or 8 raider settlements to go do, Steve.
I got 4 more to build up.
Better go get on it.
And to supply them, I got to have vassal settlements.
Oh, good Lord. So much to do. So little time. Maybe Sarah has some advice for us.
Sarah Saylor here with feedback for the character Josiah. I'm going to be really honest with y'all. I didn't do my homework. I did something else instead. The entire month of October was just absolutely slammed for me, so I didn't really get a chance to do any of the last of the quests. But what I did do was I finally got around to finishing the main quest line. I know it's taken me a while. We're talking like years and little over 600 hours to finally finish out the main quest. But I felt like that was a really big feat. So I went into the Institute, met up with Sean, who, you know, everybody knows the big spoiler there, which I've known for a long time. And it was kind of, in a way, it was kind of obvious that you weren't going to have baby Sean and that there was going to be some kind of twist to it. So I made him think, it was a really bad mom. I made him think that, you know, I was going to side with him. And the entire time I was working with the railroad. I killed a lot of synths, killed a lot of scientists, killed a lot of brotherhood. I discovered the railroad rifle or the railway rifle, whatever it is. I had never used that before, but oh my God, the damage it does. I absolutely love it. I have a new favorite gun. And I felt like, you know, I'm working with the railroad. It's kind of divine justice to use a railway rifle to take out the Institute. But anyway, I done Battle of Bunker Hill. I turned on the Courser, killed him, freed the synths. Then met back up with Sean, done all of those quests, and I got to where you find out that the Brotherhood, which I hadn't had any, well, not I did do the kind of first Brotherhood quest with Paladin Dance, where you go into the I think it's the ArcJet factory to fix the radio relay or whatever. I think that's what it is. I can't remember. It's been a while since I played it. And so I had done that because, in my opinion, if you don't do that, once you finish the part of the main quest where you go into Fort Hagen and you kill Kellogg, and then the Zeppelin, the Brotherhood Zeppelin, or the airship or whatever they call it, flies overhead, and you know they're like, "Oh yeah, we're the Brotherhood is still like us." I feel like if you don't do that before you do that particular quest, it's in a way it's kind of immersion breaking. So I went ahead and done that, but that was like the only ties that I had to the Brotherhood. I went. So whenever they came in to the railroad headquarters, you know, I didn't have any sadness killing all of them with railroad spikes because, you know, it's fun. I did get a little sad whenever I had to go to the Cambridge Police Department, and Scribe Halen is there. And from previous playthroughs, I know that Scribe Halen, she doesn't necessarily fall into or fit into the whole brotherhood, we're better than everybody, and genocide and all of that. That really wasn't her take on everything, and she felt like the brotherhood was narrow-minded. But having to kill her, it crushed my soul a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie. And then whenever you go to read her terminal, and she has all the entries, and then the last one was about the sole survivor and how she thought that it was awesome that somebody came and helped them, and it made me feel about an inch tall, and that did make me a little bit sad. But I don't like the brotherhood in Fallout 4. I liked the brotherhood in Fallout 3, which I know that they were very, very, very different from what the brotherhood was supposed to be. They weren't closed off. They were out there helping people, and it makes me really mad that the direction that Arthur Maxson takes the brotherhood in it. I swear I was playing through Fallout 3, and this was after I knew how Arthur Maxson was. And let me point out that it's absolutely hilarious that Bethesda gave Arthur Maxson the fuckboy haircut. I don't know if anybody else noticed that, but it's absolutely hilarious. But anyway, whenever you go in Fallout 3, as the lone wanderer, when you go into the Citadel, you actually find little boy Maxson, and it makes me want to go in there and just kill him and save everybody a lot of trouble in the end. But that's neither here nor there. Just my opinion on things. So it didn't hurt my feelings. Like I said, Halen's death hurt my feelings a little bit, but killing the rest of them, nah. They're a bunch of evil people. So, and here's to say that's not saying that they all are, but as a collective whole, they are. After I took out the Brotherhood, which was a lot of fun, and flying in the Vertibird with Deacon and Tinker Tom is absolutely hilarious because they're, banter back and forth. I was cracking up. So I took out the Pridwin and went back, and we went into the Institute and took that down. And it kind of cracks me up whenever you're talking to Sean. He's in his little bed and he's dying, and he sounds like a sullen child that's gotten their favorite toy taken away. And it just I thought that was kind of funny in a way. I understand where he was coming from, but I just don't think that the Institute are good guys. And I feel like Josiah had the mentality that I brought him into this world, I'll take him out, I think I've said this not necessarily on here, but like on the Facebook page and everything. There's no good choices in Fallout 4. I don't think the best choice that you have is, I think that the Minutemen have the best goals in mind for the Commonwealth. I don't think that the Railroad does. I think they're a little misguided. I am traditionally, or normally, not necessarily traditionally, I'm normally hardcore Minutemen because they have the best in mind. I didn't do anything with the Minutemen this time. I was, like I said, strictly Railroad. I avoided Preston Garvey like the plague, so he wouldn't send me on a bunch of quests. But anyway, I am getting ready to head to Far Harbor now, so I will see you all in the Wasteland.
Get on to Far Harbor then and get off of Preston's jock tonight. Why don't we, everybody? Oh my gosh. Crazy the hate the Minutemen are getting. Can't believe this is my community, people. Guys, take it easy. What is this about Maxon being a little kid? Is this Fallout 3 she's talking about? She wants to go kill baby Maxon?
Yeah.
Ray's probably done that already, right?
You can't. He's a kid.
You probably got a mod for that, though, right?
Yeah. I've got to draw the line somewhere.
Child murder. Thank you, Ray, for having some sort of limitations. Please. Thank goodness.
Maybe in Fallout 76, you can head east and just take out the entire Maxon bloodline, you know, kind of like a go back and kill Hitler kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. That's great. I love that hypothetical question. Or, the good go kill Hitler baby thing. That'd be awesome. Which brings up Sarah. You talking about the difference in the Brotherhood. Craig and I were having a conversation about the Brotherhood on Twitter last week, and he said something I thought was very cool. I don't have nearly as much experience with Fallout 3 as everybody else. I did a rushed playthrough once where I didn't do anything besides just mow through the main quest. So I didn't exactly understand all of his reference here, but he said the Brotherhood of Steel, it's like they killed the Enclave in Fallout 3 only to turn into them in Fallout 4.
Yeah, that's essentially it.
Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah, that's pretty deep.
Yeah.
See, I don't, I was just like, yeah, that sounds really cool, but I don't really get who the Enclave were. I guess they're dickholes like the Brotherhood of Steel are in Fallout 4, right? Oh, great. Sarah, thank you for the feedback. Finishing the main quest at 600 hours. That has to be some sort of record, right? I definitely did it way under 600.
It's awesome. Did she say what level she was?
I don't know if she mentioned it. I didn't notice to hear her say that. Well, that's great. 600 hours. It's incredible. Did it, knowing the end, the twist? I mean, I know you said it was an obvious twist, which I kind of agree with, but does that ruin it at all? I mean, you seem to really enjoy it, but you've been listening to the show. So, I mean, I know you've been listening to Fallout podcast forever and you hadn't finished the game yet. So you've had to know this secret for a long time. Do you think it ruins your enjoyment at all? Knowing the end. See, I am not a big anti-spoilers guy. Like, we'll respect the people out there who are spoiler free. For the first month of Fallout 76, we won't get into main quest spoilers. But so I'm not that. I don't care about spoilers. I kind of actually like to know the end of a movie when I go into it. I'm the kind of douchebag who reads the last page of a book first. I don't know why.
Sarah just mentioned she was level 43.
Nice.
Yeah, well, they're not really subtle about it, and it's not a big surprise.
Yeah, not at all. But we don't exactly know how old.
Yeah, they try to bait you with Kellogg's memory, him being just a 10-year-old, but
yeah. Yeah.
But Kellogg pretty much lets the cat out of the bag.
Stupid Kellogg. Great. Awesome. Thank you for the feedback, Sarah. And thanks for hanging out with us this season. Been really fun. I like you telling stories too, Sarah. You should hop onto the Fallout Terminal Velocity thing. It'd be fun. So let's see, Sarah coming up next. We will check in with Mark. Hi, Mark.
Hello, everyone, and I'm sorry I'm joining you from the vehicle again, but I'm so tired, you guys. We've made it. We got to the end of the season, even though I didn't actually have any feedback sent in for the last batch. I thought maybe she just got sick of the sound of my voice until I checked Outlook, and realized it was sitting in my outbox and not my sent items. So thanks, Microsoft. But anyway, other than that, I've been smashing out heaps of the main story, smashing out my roleplay, developing my character, trying to get to this point so I could do the In Sheep's Clothing and all of that. And it's just this whole experience of the round table has definitely validated what all my friends and my brother absolutely just take the piss out of me for, which is being so damn slow with all my games. I don't seem to play games, I just seem to live in them. And you know what, that's fine by me. It just means that I can't quite keep up with your guys' schedule, unfortunately. But I have been doing a lot of the main quest with the Railroad. They were my assigned faction. I've managed to get all of my assigned perks. The only thing I haven't done is liberate the castle. So I need to do some more Minutemen stuff, but that's a lot more radiant and boring. So rather than that, I wanted to develop my character. And I started off pally with the Brotherhood of Steel until we found my romance assignment, who was Curie, which completely changed just all of our conceptions towards synth and free will and slavery. And you know, at the end of the day, none of us asked to be here. The synths didn't ask to be here, so they have to suffer like the rest of us. Why, you know, I understand the stigma of, oh, they're kooks, they want to liberate toasters, but realistically, you know, if it's a sentient being, I don't know, I'm not going to get too existential about it. But with that and meeting Nick and doing the Far Harbor stuff, because Acadia was my faction there as well. So we're going full Railroad. I've been doing heaps of quests for them. Maxed out pretty much most of the companions' abilities and got most of their perks, just not the DLC ones, and I haven't got Strong or Paladin Dance yet either. So the last thing I was doing with the Railroad, I just got to the Cambridge Polymer Labs, and you're locked in there. And I've done that before. I've got to that point in that quest before. I can't quite remember where it leads though. But I will definitely be keep on going with this character because I've absolutely fallen in love. I don't know if perhaps it's because of the character generator you've given me a direction to go, so I've been a lot less indecisive apart from now where, you know, I've got everything I was supposed to, so I'm basically the perfect sniper. With I had a fairly pathetic agility score of 3, so I've been putting heaps and heaps and heaps into that. And this first playthrough, I finally got a full suit of Exo 1 that I'm trying to get upgraded fully. I've got a jetpack on that, so definitely need more agility so I can fly around everywhere. So thanks very much. I've really enjoyed the experience. It's been tiring, especially with Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out a few weeks ago, because it's been hard to pull myself away from that. Because like you, Andrew, I absolutely loved the first one as well. So it's been great. It's been fun. I've made some really good friends that some in particular that I talk to on a daily basis now. So it's been good meeting all of you guys. Been good jumping on and chatting on with everyone, interacting with the community, and I look forward to doing it again in the future. Thanks for everything you do, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.
All right, Mark. If you're such a slow gamer as you say, are you playing 76? Are you caught up in Fallout 4 for a long time? How do you do with your games? You're doing Red Dead Redemption 2. Well, what is Mark's platform? Do you guys remember? CPS4?
He's on a PlayStation, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. How? Gosh, have we heard from many of our PS4 people? Do we know anybody who has been doing beta for PS4? Has their PS4 community thriving? Do we have one?
I haven't seen anything besides Mark.
Frater, do you own a PS4 as well?
No. I think that's the only console I don't have.
I think Pat's got all of them. I wonder if Pat's gonna get it for all of his his different platforms. I think he has it for PC and Xbox. You got it for PC and Xbox too, though, right, Frater? You said you lost some characters. What happened there?
I don't know. Not today, but last time the beta was running, my character was completely deleted from Xbox, so I had to start over.
That's really weird. Yeah, so when we were running around together today, you were only level 5, and
Yeah.
that was fun. So slow game, and people make fun of you for that, Mark. See, when you were saying that, I thought you were going to comment on how the round table, how you play with the round table because we slow game. And then you went on to expand on that, saying that you couldn't keep up with the round table, which I was like, oh my gosh, we slow game so hard. We are the slowest of slow games. Like, you just must be playing too many games or not playing enough games, Mark. That must be the tick. You need to play more games, Mark. You need to just whittle out some more time for yourself, buddy. We all need it, right? More game time. Thank you for the feedback all season long, man. What was he saying about the unsent feedback? He thought that we were being mean and not playing this feedback, but it got stuck in Outlook or whatever.
Yeah, his one from last time.
Okay, there's a couple. He thought we were being mean. No way, Mark. We'll always play stuff. We are. I don't. Gosh, I was just about to say. I was about to sound really offensive to everyone who sends me. I was about to be like, "We're not picky. We'll play anything." No, we love all the feedback everyone sends in, and we are just happen to be lucky that everyone is so great at sending in good, valuable stories. Love hearing from everybody all season long. Mark, you've been one of the most valuable players this season, buddy. We'll send you a gold star or something.
I liked his line about liberating the toasters.
Yes. The who says that? Tinker Tom?
No, I don't know. Mark said
I
it.
think it's one of the Institute people. It might even be Father.
Father's making fun of Tinker Tom. That's hilarious. Great. Yeah, Mark, awesome. Thanks for hanging out all season long, man. Good work. We will hear from Jen, and I promise it's not me reading her email this time.
Hey, Fallout friends. Jen here with my last round of feedback for this season. So I am going to really quickly gloss over, I'm sorry, the Federal Surveillance Center and the UFO crash site because I have a lot of feedback for the Sentinel site and In Sheep's Clothing. I will just say that the Federal Surveillance Center was really cool. I didn't know there was a vault in there. I know I missed a ton of stuff listening to you guys last week, so I'm going to have to go back and clear it thoroughly, but I really did enjoy shooting a couple more synths. UFO crash site, I've done it before. I've actually followed the ship, and I was with McCready, who has some really hilarious dialogue about conspiracy theories when it comes down, and then we go in. But I am quite disappointed that I didn't have Wasteland Whisperer to pacify the little dude, the little alien in there. I really wanted to recruit him if it was at all possible. I really hope to one day find, I'm sure there is somewhere, a mod that will let me have the little alien as my follower. But anyway, he was very, very cute, and he had a badass gun, and Crystal made a lot of caps from it, so that was really exciting for everyone. So this playthrough, I was signed the Brotherhood as my faction, and I've done it before. Shortly after playing Fallout 3, I played 4 first, and then 3, and I went through all of the DLCs for 3. And after Anchorage, I really, really wanted to resurrect Liberty Prime. So I was pretty excited about doing that. And I felt really dirty having to make the decisions I did. And here I am doing it again for Crystal. So I'm having to really enlist every bit of distance and kind of role play distance that I can with Crystal's character to justify some of that stuff. So I did the Sentinel site during Liberty Reprimed. I'm told at the Pridwin that I need to get some nukes from this one site in the Glowing Sea, and that's how we're going to get Liberty Prime working again. So I go with Dance. Dance has been my companion forever. I had Nick Valentine as my companion, and Dance as my romance. So I went through all of the affinity stuff with Nick. I found all of his holotapes, and that ended like way, way long ago. I've been with Dance ever since, because I can't get his complete affinity or romance him until this whole quest is over. Now, if you have not done that before and you don't want spoilers, you can just kind of fast forward to the next person who gives you feedback, because I'm going to give you a ton of them. I have feelings. Not to say that other people don't have feelings, but I'm going to be airing them here. So I went down to the Glowing Sea with Dance, and to get to the Sentinel site, I passed a ton of rad scorpions. I enlisted the help of my trusty Reba 2, since I was in power armor, and I can't use my power fist with the power armor. And you guys all keep telling me that it should work for me, but it's really not as powerful as the Furious Power Fist that I took from Swan way, way back in the beginning. So I ended up putting some points into Rifleman so I can do damage while I'm wearing power armor and benefit from the rad protection. Also look badass. So I got into the building with Dance, and we went down to the launch site, and we spoke to a guy from the Children of Adam. He was there guarding the site because it's a sacred site. I was super excited when I was talking to him, and I immediately saw a speech check that said something about being a member of the children from the church up north. I am a member, Crystal is a member of the Children of Adam, because that is my atom, not Adam. I realize I'm rolling my T's, because that's my faction in Far Harbor. I immediately went for that one option, and I passed the speech check pretty quickly. I have more points in charisma than I'm used to, so that was kind of exciting for me. But I was a little disappointed there was no fight, but I also was relieved that I didn't have to fight that Assaultron in really tight quarters. So Dance, again, I said, has been my companion for most of this playthrough. And at the end of it, he said he had to stay behind. Maxon wanted him to stay behind and guard the site. And it was a little bit ominous. And I felt bad leaving him there, but I went back to the Pridwin on my own and turned in the quest to Maxon, and Maxon told me that Dance, my beloved Dance, here's the spoiler, is a synth. So Dance is my assigned romance, as I said, and I was determined to keep this guy alive. So I was tipped off by Scribe Halen that Dance might be at Listening Post Bravo. So I went right there, and I found him wearing nothing but his underpants and his little Brotherhood hood. Poor guy was letting himself go, but it made me laugh a little bit because here he is really distraught, and he was in nothing but his tidy whitey. So I think what happened was I took his suit that he comes equipped with when I was taking all during one of our inventory clearing sessions, and I couldn't re-equip it under his power armor, and I didn't realize that he would be naked underneath. So that was a fun surprise. So in the room, there are a lot of great mentats, which was totally helpful. I'm a mentat hog, so I took all of them. I didn't take all of them, like swallowed all of them. I didn't have Crystal do that, but I took all of them. So Dance was determined to have me follow through on to destroy him. What an ass Maxon is, telling me to destroy Dance. So Dance was saying he would that either I would destroy him or he would do it himself. So I had my best dress on, my fashionable glasses. I put on a pompadour wig because I didn't have a cute hat to wear. And I popped a couple great men's hats. So I brought my charisma up to 12. And then I told him that I couldn't lose any more people, and that he agreed. And he agreed that he was being selfish. So thank goodness for that. So he wasn't going to, I stopped him from killing himself. We were all good, and we started making our way upstairs through the elevator, and we met Maxon at the door. We were trying to leave. Dance is still in his tidy whities this entire time. Maxon started spewing a whole bunch of Brotherhood rhetoric, and only seceded when I threatened, and was going to kill Dance, and only seceded when I threatened that I would leave the Brotherhood too if he decided to follow through with this. So he said he'd look the other way, but Dance would be an enemy and shot on sight if he came near the Brotherhood again. So knowing what was coming next, I couldn't take Dance with me because the Brotherhood was going to kill him on sight, and I didn't want that to happen. And I couldn't take Nick with me, who was my other assigned companion, because I felt kind of terrible. These people are, well, what I'm about to do. I couldn't take a synth who I loved with me. So I picked up Kate, who I had I'd rescued from Combat Zone ages ago. And I had hanging out at the Red Rocket, guarding my stuff. I had some stuff stored there, like my power armor. Kate, I figured, was morally ambiguous enough to be okay with what I was about to do, which was slaughter the entire railroad. I suited Kate up in some Brotherhood power armor because I figured that if we were going to do this, we're going to do it right. I got in my Brotherhood power armor as well, and we took a little walk down to the railroad and met the rest of the Brotherhood there. So horrible slaughter ensued, and as soon as it was over, we went to the Institute. Liberty Prime was spectacular and really fun to fight with because, you know, I just kind of walked behind and looted bodies while he is Liberty Prime a boy or a girl? I'm not sure. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Badass nonetheless. So I, with Kate and with the Brotherhood, finished off the Institute. And as soon as that was done, I went back to Dance to see how he was doing. And he immediately idolized me, which was kind of exciting. And we had our final affinity discussion, and I did my little romance speech check with him, and it was a success. I think it was a combination of my fancy pompadour wig and my fashionable glasses, because they are irresistible. So right after, I took my new boyfriend, Dance, to Diamond City, because next on the list was In Sheep's Clothing. And I thought maybe we could do that quest together. And I realized that it takes a little while for the quest to trigger. So I was feeling pretty flush with caps. So I actually went up to see what was going on in the mayor's office, and it was business as usual. So I bought home plate because it's fun to decorate, and I figured I could make a little trophy room for myself there, as I often do with my playthroughs. It's a fun place to keep stuff you don't want settlers to steal. And so we stayed there a couple days, and I kept checking to see if anything was new, anything was happening outside. So it was about 2 days, I think, that we were there. And then I saw Danny Sullivan. He was in the stairwell going down, and he was shot. People were around him. It was really, really sad. He was looking hurt. I offered him a stim pack. While I was trying to talk to him to offer him a stim pack, though, I was immediately shot by a whole bunch of laser rifles, and I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. There was this wild open fire happening midst discussion. I couldn't get out of the dialogue, and I couldn't figure out why. And then I realized dance was under attack as soon as I came out of my dialogue lock, because there were Brotherhood everywhere, because Brotherhood had won the whole Institute thing. I'd finished the game with the Brotherhood. So they were everywhere. There were knights everywhere. There were people in power armor everywhere. And I died. And I came back and tried to start the conversation again, thinking that I could survive the conversation and then not have to shoot any of the Brotherhood, just kind of run away. But I died again. So after dying twice, before going to see Danny, I very quickly, as soon as I respawned, asked Dance to meet me at the Red Rocket before he could enter combat. And he left. I hid. He didn't. I was really lucky that the Brotherhood didn't see him, and I spoke to Danny and gave him a stim and went to see about the synth mayor. Brotherhood was totally cool with me. Dance was gone. I was by myself. So I found Piper in the office yelling at him through the door, and I looked around and found a mysterious red button under the desk that I hadn't noticed before. So I hit the button and the door opened. I spoke to the mayor and I convinced him to let the secretary go. I told him that he needed to pay for his crimes and to be brought to justice. And he was like, oh, hell no. And he got really upset, and but not aggro with me. And then Piper took one shot at him and inexplicably disappeared. So the mayor wasn't aggro. I tried to hit him, and then Diamond City security showed up and tried to take me down, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I died again. I let myself die. And then when I respawned after the fight, the mayor still wasn't aggro, and Piper usually kills him, I think, during this quest. So I didn't know what was going on. So I went back to Red Rocket, the mayor just kind of walking around minding his own business up there. And I had her on guard duty there with Kate, and I couldn't engage discussion with her when I found her. She just started running. Piper started running. And I was curious about what was going on, so I followed her. Across the entire damn Commonwealth, I followed her, and I learned that if I follow too closely, she'll just stand there and tell me stuff about being a reporter, and then actually won't engage with me, and then start running again. So I was pretty good at following her until I lost her in a camp of super mutants. So I went back to my main settlement at Abernathy to go to the Vault Tech computer and turn on that quest, Overseer's Most Wanted, where I could track her with a little quest marker. It's a really useful tool. I'm pretty excited about it. But I found her again at the Red Rocket. It said that she was there. And I was like, the hell, you were just at Diamond City, and now she was back at the Red Rocket. So I went back to the Red Rocket, ran over there, and I found her again, unable to speak to me. And she started running again. And I followed her, and I think she was running to, I thought she was running to Diamond City. She led me right through the intensely irradiated Cambridge ruins, and then got stuck in the water near the USS Riptide, which was so irradiated. I was taking so much radiation damage. So she still wouldn't speak to me. So I went to Diamond City, hoping that she would follow me there, because I didn't want to die. So I got to Diamond City, and then when I got to the elevator, or that lift thing, I heard her voice coming from upstairs, and then I heard some gunshots. And when I arrived, she was standing over the body of the mayor. So she had come back to kill him. I guess took a detour to Diamond City and then came back and killed him. I still couldn't engage with her. I tried to talk to her, and she told me that she had work to do in Diamond, and that Diamond City needed her. But finally, the quest was ended. I have never seen that bug before, but it was frustrating and entertaining. So, being the Brotherhood jerk that I am, picked up the body of the mayor, walked over to the lift, and held it all up in the sky for all of Diamond City to see, declaring that the synth was dead. And then I felt like it was an end to the Institute reign of terror. that the city needed to see. I hoped that they could sleep in peace, knowing that they would finally be safe. Well, as safe as you can be in the Commonwealth. And that's where I ended. This has been a really, really fun playthrough. I pushed myself to my ethical limits with the Brotherhood, and I've never done an Institute ending before, so there is that for me in the future. But thanks so much, guys, for sticking through my long-winded, sometimes verbose feedback, and I really appreciated hearing everything you guys had to say, all the feedback participants and everybody else. So that was really awesome. Thanks so much, guys, and I will look forward to seeing you in the 76 Wasteland.
Awesome. Thanks, Jen, so much for your feedback all season long. It's been really great. She even took a big break there for a minute, but she still managed to send an email. So, kudos for sending stuff in. It's great. I loved hearing your stories. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I got the image. She's holding up the mayor's dead body up over the Diamond City. People like the monkey in Lion King holds up the baby lion cub. Here's the man.
She never did mention that she put clothes back on Dance.
He was naked the whole time, right?
It's the way it sounded.
I mean, is that how it always is? Does he ever wear clothes under? Does he have one of those orange jumpsuits on underneath his?
I kind of had that problem when I was doing my Brotherhood playthrough.
Oh, nice.
He was naked. Yeah, he was naked. But then, because he doesn't come with you right then, I don't think, or I didn't take him with me right then. She said she didn't either, right? I don't know. But anyways, at some point you come back and he's in a suit of XO1 armor.
Wow, really?
So he so instead of wearing his Brotherhood armor, power armor, he generates a XO1 suit, and that's what
really
he's wearing.
cool. That's nice. And you guys need to, not be so judgmental. Maybe he just likes to party, and you guys need to relax. He likes to run around in a skivvy. So what? Don't give him a hard time.
Oh, and what did she say about home plate? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's a fun place to decorate.
Yeah,
I was no settlers.
I wanted to scream like, "Fun? What? It's the worst place to decorate." I hate it so much.
It's not. That's where Mr. Peanut built his bar and had a little Christmas tree
and all his monocles,
yeah.
top hats.
I like home
and canes.
And canes. You guys are so hilarious. She wants to recruit the alien through Wasteland Whisper. Not possible. Mod? That'd be hilarious. I'd love if someone skinned dog meat as the alien. That'd be
only if he has the laser pistol.
That'd be hilarious. Be really, really, really great. Someone tell me quick. Elevator pitch to Operation Anchorage, because she said that made her want to go resurrect Liberty Prime. What was Operation Anchorage from Fallout 3 DLC, right?
Yeah, boy, it's been a long time since I've done that one.
I think I only did that one once.
Yeah, you get to follow Liberty Prime in Fallout 3 too, just in the regular quest line.
Oh, okay. Whether you're BOS or not?
Well, no, you do it through the Brotherhood of Steel.
I guess that's I should have assumed that. It's probably a safe assumption there. So I actually thought that was a really fun animation sequence there, the sort of cut screen of playing with Liberty Prime there at the end, busting into the Institute. I think that was really well done with his like laser beam and stuff.
Yeah, that was definitely fun.
Yeah.
That is one of the cool parts about doing the Brotherhood is seeing Liberty Prime going down, taking out super mutants and raiders.
And any kid who grew up with Transformers just has to have a soft spot for Liberty Prime.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's got great lines too.
It feels like all the communist stuff. Yeah, that's great.
So what does he do afterwards? Does he just patrol that area?
I don't know.
Does he go back to the airport?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Does he just roam around the airport every time you're trying to do something in your settlement there? It's a
I think they shut him down, but honestly, I can't say for sure.
Yeah, he's a street lamp in your settlement.
Yeah.
He directs traffic, Ray. It's got red, yellow, and green lights. That'd be great.
Yeah, and that Piper bug definitely played well into her story. So
that's
she
fun.
did a great job with that.
Okay, so what was really going on there? Piper got bugged when they were up in.
Yes.
They were up in the office, and then they left, and then Piper got bugged, so she had to keep going back to the office. Is that what happened?
So she tried to take her out of the situation, and she just ran back.
Kept going back to it. That's hilarious. Way to go!
But that is one of the bugs that's listed in the wiki, so it's a pretty common one.
Hilarious. Good deal, Jen. That's funny. I like that whole Piper story there. But she was smart doing the Overseer's Most Wanted. That's one of those things that I was like, oh gosh, would have I eventually thought to do that? If I keep losing those people? Oh, yeah, gosh, you can build a terminal. Abernathy Farm, by the way, is that what you rolled randomly? Because I don't know if I've ever built there, but if I remember right, I think I read in the wiki that it has the tallest build zone. No, I don't remember.
I think I heard that too. Yeah,
something special about Abernathy Farm. I don't remember what it is exactly. Yeah, that's great. Build yourself Overseer's terminal or whatever that little thing is, a population tracker. I don't even know what it is, but it lets you see where the all of your followers are. You can put little quest markers on them, so wherever they are, you know where they go. That's really great. When the game first came out, you know me, I'm obsessed with the followers. I thought that was a huge thing that was missing. And that got added in at some point, probably during one of the Vault Tech workshop.
Yeah,
DLC.
When they added the vault.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. For when they added the Vault 88 stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. Good. Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much, Jen, for your awesome feedback all season long. And that is our conclusion of all the feedback for Fallout 4. All the quests that we did for season 6, the best side quests. So I hope everyone enjoyed all the feedback. And we couldn't do this without the people out there in the community sending in dedicated, wonderful feedback each and every time. So thanks again to you guys. Now we will shift our attention back to Fallout 76 just for a little bit. Anyone who's super duper not wanting to get spoiled by anything, here's your warning. We're not going to do any like real spoilers or anything, but we do have some feedback from Pat and Sarah who have some feedback for 76. But before we do that, we will check in here with Steve. Steve, you got into Fallout 76 today? Did you not?
I did. This was the first time I got to take a bite at it for a chunk of time.
Tell me everything. I'm excited to hear what you think.
I had a blast. I just played with myself. I didn't team up with anybody. I was just running around wherever I felt like it, picking up stuff and crafting and doing a couple events. And I really like the crafting system, that the weapons decay and that you have to repair them. That's good. And yeah, ended up dying a couple times. Had to go back and get my stuff. It was good. It's real good. Um,
Leon
I
said,
wasn't good.
Sorry. I said Leon said he didn't like the crafting style. He just wants to be able to match his two weapons together to repair one. I kind of like that. You take it back to a workbench.
Yeah, and then you learn new weapon mods by scrapping weapons. I thought that was cool.
It's not just a random thing, is it? Like if you picked up 15 pipe pistols and you're just scrapping all of those in a row, you're not going to find a random mod in there, right? It only comes from scrapping a known weapon, correct? That already has
Right.
that
If you
on it?
scrap 15 pipe pistols, it seems like you would learn the pipe pistol mods. You know, if you're scrapping shotguns, you learn shotgun mods.
But if there aren't mods already on that gun, do you learn mods? No, correct?
Yes,
you do.
I think you learn basic mods.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yep.
wow, interesting, cool. I thought that
Yeah.
you would have a mod on the gun already as you scrap it. Neat.
And then there were some that I could do like right away because I was like, oh yeah, cool. I can like throw that on, you know, swap on a better handle or something. And then some I couldn't because I needed a gunsmith perk, which I did not have and never got. So so I
perks.
wasn't able to add some of the ones I learned.
What perks are talk about the perk system? How do you feel about that?
Oh man, it's pretty cool. I kind of wish the cards were coming faster, but I mean, I guess that's what it is you just only get so many. I only got to like level 8 is what I got to. So
You only played one session. It took me 4 sessions. Steve. Don't feel bad about that at all. So the perk cards, let's talk about those a little bit, I guess. You're one of your main contributions to this community, Steve, besides your awesome feedback all the time, is you have taken on the role of being our Fallout character generator, creator, maintainer guy. So what sort of challenges are we facing with creating a character generator with this specific game, do you see? And now that you've played a little bit, does that matter? Has it changed anything of your thought process?
With the perks, probably not. There's so many and they come randomly. I threw a thing in there to just give you one random perk for each special stat. So I guess it depends on whether or not you get those cards, because you get what, a packet at 6 and a packet 8 and a packet 10 or something like that, I guess, and then one every turn. So you'd have to keep track of what cards you want, so you make sure you add them. But I switched them around a couple times too. You know, I did get some extra ones, and I was looking. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm not teamed up with anybody. I'm going to get rid of this one that gives me, you know, extra XP when I'm in a team, and I'm going to replace it with Lone Wanderer because I'm just by myself. So let me do that, and you can do that at any time, which is great. You can just swap them out.
I was proud of myself today that I was like, oh man, I'm super thirsty, but I don't have any water on me. I need to go just drink out of this river, and that's going to give me 15 rads per sip. So I was like, oh god, this is going to be painful. Oh wait, I have a card for that. So I was like, you just flip on that card that gives you less radiation from food and water, and then it gives you a lot less radiation per sip, and then you can take it off immediately and switch it back to, I think it was food and water way less. And I just, flip back and forth between those two depending on which I needed to do at the time. So I thought that was a pretty fun thing that you don't have to be dedicated. That was one of my things in Fallout 4. If you guys remember me saying this, I would get paralyzed with the fear of making the wrong decision. So I would stack up 10 perks because I was like, oh gosh, what direction do I want these characters to go in? I don't know, but I don't want to pick the wrong perks because I don't want to have to go back because this decision is very fucking final. This is how they got rid of that. I don't have to have the fear of not picking the right perk anymore because I can always just swap it out. Anxiety gone, right?
Yep. The only thing to be anxious about would be making sure you pick the right special point.
Oh my God, Steve, I'm so anxious.
Because
You're gonna
you can't go back on those.
You're gonna take that decision away from me too. How is the generator gonna work? How is it different than years past? Sorry, did you hear me there, Steve?
Hey, how is it different from what previous ones?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, how is our new generator gonna work? What is it gonna do, and how is it different from the past Fallout 4 generator or New Vegas?
All right. So what I set it up to do was to, since you get to pick a special point every level up to 50, and you start with 1 point per special point, right? So you got 1 in strength, 1 in perception, 1 in endurance, and so on. I set it up to randomly give you 49 special points divided up into those individually, but not more than 15 because it can't take more than 15 in either any.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Special. And then I did also continue to break it down by all of those special points, so you can know what order to put them in if you want, if you feel it, whatever's fun for you. And then I also picked a random perk card per special and put it in there. And there are so many. What did I say there was? I had like 175 individual perks already.
Yeah, and you said it was still an early phase, and there was still so many more to come out yet. Right?
Yeah, they're supposed to finish up with well over 200 or something. So
yeah, so there's still a lot that haven't been even revealed yet, and I bet you as they release DLC content stuff and future packages, we'll still get even more on top. You know, like we did with Automatron and Far Harbor and stuff. They snuck in extra perks depending on when you added DLC and whatnot. So I bet you we'll get future packages of even more perk cards after that. You know, it's since they can swap them out, you can they can kind of just be as crazy as they want to be. You know what I mean? They can have really random stuff and just be like, yeah, whatever. Since they can swap it out, you don't have to be dedicated to it. Let's have crazy stuff go on. So I'm pretty excited to see all these different perks. What did you think about? Did you get mutated at all? Did you play with that system yet?
I have not. Didn't get mutated, so that was all right.
Yeah, I think
I'm looking forward to it.
Looking forward to getting mutated. Awesome. I think I mentioned it last show, but Pat got a mutation when he and I were playing, and I was mutated. I got the vegetarian mutation, and he got the carnivore the carnivore the perk, so or mutation. So I thought that was pretty funny. It's kind of a role reversal there. It was really funny. Oh, speaking of
all I got was dysentery.
What is that? Seems like a disease because I had that earlier today, and then it just went away eventually, and I don't think I did anything. It just kind of dissipated. What was your experience with diseases and stuff, right?
I don't remember exactly how I ended up getting it. I think I was running around in the water or something, but yeah, I got dysentery, and so it you get dehydrated really quick.
And that's really the only ill effect. So it's basically means you have diarrhea. If you think about it, right?
That's awesome.
I slept at the overseer camp, and I ended up getting swamp itch, which gave me a -2 to my agility.
Swamp itch.
I ended up with parasites today, which makes your food consumption go away. Like your food just disappears very quickly. So you're just constantly hungry. But that lasted about 10 minutes and it went away on its own.
Yeah, so all this stuff just throws such fun curveballs at you when you're playing.
I find that I get too thirsty too quickly. And if I don't go on hunting expeditions specifically for looking for meat, I get hungry pretty quickly too.
I was having to do some managing there too. I like that you can go down to like any sort of moving water and collect water and then go back and boil it.
That is good. Yeah. Boil it. So there's dirty water, boiled water, and purified water. I assume I found some blueprints. I assume I can build that at some point. I haven't really tried. Do you have to have like a certain base level of intelligence to build, like they, how in Fallout 4 with the perk chart? Do they do anything like that restrictive with building water purifiers or turrets and such?
Well, and intelligent is supposed to impact your crafting, so it's got to be built in there somewhere.
Because I haven't done any building at all, really. But when I did look, I was sort of scrolling through the building menu and I was looking at all the different floors and stuff. But it looked like there were restricted levels in the building somehow too. Was it just that I hadn't found the correct blueprints yet? Is that the only restriction?
Not the only one. Some of it's perk cards and levels.
Oh, okay. So some of them do have a certain base level before they would be made available.
Yeah.
Okay. Are the blueprints permanent? Are those always the same? Or are those always in the same locations?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I don't think they are.
I wouldn't think so.
They're random? Okay.
Yeah, Bethesda loves their random stuff.
Because I was just going to be like, okay, I need to write down where this water purifier one is, because the water purifier would be one of the most useful things in the game. So we'd, of course, want to start the game off by having that. So I'm going to write down where that water purifier one is so I can come back and find that all the time. But that'd be a waste of time. Not going to be there next time.
I have noticed wherever I find blueprints and bobbleheads, there's always something worth getting in that spot.
Okay, so there are magic spots, it looks like then. Bobbleheads, explain how those work.
The only one I've used so far is the small guns bobblehead, which lasted an hour, and I can't remember what it did. I think it slowed down degradation of the weapon.
Small guns.
Oh, that's cool.
Down the degradation of the weapon.
And I'm pretty sure it upped the damage as well.
Okay, I was gonna say it didn't. If it didn't give like some sort of like boost or something, that'd be kind of weird. That's awesome. It had a double effect though. Cool.
But they just do it for a temporary period of time, right? This isn't like a collecting a perk kind of thing.
Is that
Yeah?
Okay, maybe I brought this up a couple weeks ago. Is that how magazines in New Vegas worked for like a temporary thing?
Yeah, that was the difference between magazines and books.
It's just a temporary effect. So bobbleheads are kind of like magazines now. Will that bobblehead always be the same every time? Or are they going to be random all over the place?
They're definitely random.
Okay.
And does it use it when you first pick it up, or do you like keep it and then you can use it when you want?
It goes in your inventory. You can do whatever you want. I think you can even trade them.
That's pretty fun. I've only found one so far. Frater, you said you found a few. That's fun. Cool. Anything else like that? Magazines? Do we have books and magazines in 76? How's that work mechanically with the game, and how's that different than bobbleheads? What sort of things are those magazines affecting?
I didn't find any. Yeah, no, I didn't find any magazines. I found some recipes.
Yeah.
And I found the same recipe more than once a couple of times, and I think I ended up selling it because I couldn't learn it again. So I was just trying to, I had to keep remembering, once you pick up a recipe, you have to go and read it to learn it. So.
Yeah, I found that out too. I was like, wait a second, why can't I do this thing? I was supposed to do that. I found the rest. I think it was a blueprint. I was like, I found this blueprint. Why can't I build that thing? It's because I hadn't gone and actually opened up the blueprint and to discover what it actually says. It was in my inventory. I just hadn't, read it yet or whatever. So you got to go through back into your inventory and click those things and to actually order, in order to learn the information off of any of it. All right, guys. Fallout 76. I was playing with my good buddy Pat last week with the beta, and Pat unfortunately couldn't play this week. But Mo and I played with Pat last week, and then Mo and I were playing this week. We're running around out in I say Appalachia. The game says Appalachia. We're running around out there in the wasteland, and Mo just sort of sadly turns to me and says, "Papa, can we please go find Pat?" And I had to sadly tell him Pat wasn't on this week.
Aw.
But it was really cute. He had a really good time running around with Pat when we were playing last time. So Pat and Mo had a really good time playing with you. I just wanted to share that little story. And Pat wanted to share us a little story about Fallout 76.
Hey guys, Pat here. I'm recording a little bit of Fallout 76 feedback. I promised I'd send this to Andrew. Sorry, Andrew, it's taking me. I meant to get it into last week, but I was hoping to get some quality playtime in this weekend. So I'm recording this after the Saturday, the Saturday the 3rd, 5 to 9 p.m. play session. You know, Andrew and I actually bumped into each other intentionally. We looked for each other, found each other, and ran around a little bit. But one or both of us was having complete meltdown of headset chat. So either he couldn't hear me or I couldn't hear him or both. So it was very frustrating. We did a little bit of light cooperation. I think we both died twice. Once at the Wade Airport, dying to super mutants, I think once each, and then once falling off a bridge each, which was a classic me. I don't know about Andrew. I don't know how often you fall off things, but it happens to me all the time. So it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to kind of give it a good assessment without having a chance to really do multiplayer. So I do at some point I hope I can get the multiplayer working because I want to try that. But at the same time, I'm finding the beta testing fairly unsatisfying because I think it's the closed window of the beta and the desire to try a lot of new things and having people running around trying to find you and finding other people and all that. I think that exactly is the opposite of what I don't want to do in this style of Fallout. So when I do Fallout 4, with the heavy crafting, I'll do long stretches of quest play, followed by long stretches of just derping and building and crafting and grinding and just farting around. And effectively, 76 is kind of all that second piece. There's a little bit of questing, but it's pretty light. I think the amount of the depth of quest that you get out of the robots and the terminal tapes and the terminal entries and the holotapes and all that is much, much less even than the quest you get out of Fallout 4. Fallout 4 has some pretty nicely layered things to it, like the different raider quest lines that kind of overlap and run into each other. And when you get into Fallout, when you get into New Far Harbor, you get a lot of really layered stuff. It's got some really, really, really good one-off quests like Cabot's and the investigating the murder in the hotel in Far Harbor, even Nuka World, which isn't the most sort of layered quest. It has some really fun locations like the crazy radioactive clown ghouls, which is, while they're frustrating, it's a pretty fun location I've always found. So I think that's part of the problem with 76 is that the core of it is, at least for a single player experience, is only sort of half of what you get in Fallout 4. Now in Fallout New Vegas and 3, you don't really get the crafting aspect. It's very light crafting aspect, but you get very heavily layered role-playing aspect. So I'm just not sure what 76 is going to bring to kind of bring that other aspect, because I don't think a crafting, derping exploration game, at least for me anyway, is gonna really carry it. Now, the other piece is once we get past the sort of crush of the beta, and everybody has sort of whatever amount of time they want to spend in the game, then it may be a little bit different, because if you want to spend 3 hours perfecting your settlement or whatever, you're not going to get kicked off the server. Hopefully the servers will be pretty stable. The only kind of a little bit of slowness, frame rate issues in a few places. I had my stash box like refuse to work properly for a few minutes tonight, and then I think I eventually like went and crafted something, and then my stash box was working again. So it wasn't serious stuff. I mean, it's the kind of stuff that can happen in a single player offline game, especially the Bethesda universe. So I haven't, other than frame rate issues, which they've said to expect, I don't feel like there's too many performance issues. I suspect this chat issue that I was having with Andrew was maybe just a setup issue, because I've never done chat. I have twitched from my Xbox, but I've never chatted from my Xbox. So I'm going to need to do some further debugging there. I do have an Xbox headset, which I would have thought would be working properly. So I was a little surprised that didn't work better. Let's see. So VATS I'm pretty okay with. Maybe that's one thing I wasn't sure if I was going to like, but I did have gotten used to VATS pretty easily. I had to just do the lock on, and what I found it most useful is, say, for the scorched, or for things that kind of run at you like a super mutant with a sledgehammer. If you lock on, you can lock on at VATS pretty far away, and you just let them run at you until you get your VATS into like 75-80%, and you can start plugging away. So I've actually found VATS pretty okay. I wasn't sure I was going to like it, but I think I'm fine with that. I think the mechanics and all are pretty good. So that stuff, mechanically it's okay. It's really just going to be a matter of what the experience is going to be like. I do feel like once it's live and I can play, I probably will mostly play solo. I'll just go online and ignore everybody else, including friends, just because I think this, the Fallout experience for me is fundamentally not a multiplayer experience. I'm of course very, very much not alone in that feeling. So, once it gets to the stage of private servers and there's an opportunity to play literally with just 4 people as opposed to the bigger thing, and who knows, once I get the chat issues worked out, I may that may work out. Obviously, I'm a little frustrated because I think most of the community, I think, seems like Xbox is the most common among the community, with PC a strong second, and PS4 seems to be a pretty laggy third place in terms of that. So I do have it. I do have the game for both PC and Xbox. So maybe I'll try next beta window. I may try firing up the PC just to see if I can make the chat experience work on the PC side. So anyway, definitely looking forward to playing it some more. I'm really looking forward to the beta ending, and that way we don't have to get hung up with the rush feeling. It's not the bugginess or anything else. It's really just that feeling of being rushed. So anyway, this is long and rambling, but I did promise to send in a few thoughts, and my thoughts really haven't changed. I guess on the positive side, I've gotten used to VATS. That's a check plus. The photo mode's a lot of fun. That doesn't make a game, but it certainly is a fun aspect. Big double check plus to being able to wear clothes over your armor. So that's nice. It really makes you feel like you can really personalize your character, and while still not sacrificing protection. So that's a big plus. I can't call it realistic. I think putting clothing over some of that bulky armor, but I think from a sheer game playability and fun aspect, I give that a big check. Weapons seem pretty good. I got a hunting rifle that I'm using right now. I'm level 10 as I record this, and have a hunting rifle that's got decent amount of mods on it. Definitely learning how to use the stash box, that's for sure. So I'm sure we'll all be sharing lots and lots of tips and experiences and thoughts. Look forward to hearing what everybody else in the community has experience with the beta and with the game as it launches. So thanks Andrew for asking for feedback. I appreciate your taking time to ask me to send in a few thoughts, and I look forward to hearing what everybody else has to say and continuing to figure out this new Fallout 76 thing. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later.
All right, Pat seems super skeptical of the first half, he was explaining he would go on long binges of questing and just building up all of his resources and collecting stuff, doing quest and bringing it back home, and then doing long stretches of building and creation stuff. So he says that Fallout 76 to him will be doing the second part of that very well, but he doesn't think there's going to be long binges of questing. Have you guys found any evidence that there could be stories and such?
Yeah, I think I disagree with him about that. I mean, I agree with almost everything else he said, but I kind of like that I can go to a terminal, get what I need from it, and not have to bring Nick or Piper or somebody with me to get in the way when I'm going through doors.
Okay. You're just taking freaking unnecessary shots now. Everyone's
I found a lot of notes on corpses,
and that's not satisfying to some people. You know, they want to hear it from the live lips of NPCs. You know what I mean?
Use your imagination.
Ray, you probably just kill people anyway, but are you okay with the notes terminals robot style system?
So far, I the one thing that I finally had to get through was every single thing that you pick up and all the group quests and stuff like that show up. I was trying to find something, and there were like 15 different map markers on my HUD. I'm like, okay, I got to figure this out. So I just went, and you can turn them all off.
It's exactly like activating an active quest in Fallout 4. You can highlight; it'll put a little check mark, a little square by the whichever quest you have active in your Pip-Boy. But for real though, Ray, there are fucking 8,000 little blip, 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 blip things popping up on your damn Pip-Boy map all the time. There's events, there's daily quests, there's side quests, there's little things popping up. You can see all the people all over the place. It's just crazy. So I had to go into, like you, I was just like, oh my god, this is overwhelming. I can't even see the whole right side of my screen because it's just like this quest and this quest and this quest. It was overwhelming. It was making me feel anxious. So I was like, fuck, I gotta get rid of it. So like I went in just my Pip-Boy. Oh, it's great. Just turn them all off. I can actually see my the right side of my screen. Just have one highlighted, one going at a time. It's great. Now, Ray, I don't think you're much of a VATS guy generally. Have you done the VATS much in 76?
I've tried it a couple of times. I mean, I'll have to work on it a little bit more to see, but yeah, no, I don't really use VATS.
You do, however, love Blitz and stuff. Have we seen any evidence of Melee being cool with Blitz or anything? Has anybody been tipped off from that? I bet it's a really high level perk card, so I don't know if it's been dropped yet, but
yeah, I haven't seen any perks about it, but there's a little tiny bit of it when you use VATS with a Melee. You get a little short Blitz out of it.
Yeah, I have noticed that you don't need to be right up onto the opponent in order to do VATS. My main weapon I've been using so far is a two-handed fire axe. And it's just been really fun doing melee thing. And I think it's cool that they distinguish between two-handed and one-handed melee weapons. Now that brings up the question: can you dual wield one-handed weapons?
I haven't tried.
Yeah, neither have I.
Oh,
that'd be like Skyrim style badass, right? I would love that if you could dual wield one-handed melee weapons. That'd be amazing. Because I'm doing a total almost everything into agility. I accidentally have 2 into charisma right now because Mo had the controller in his hand when we leveled up, and he put a perk into charisma on accident. But I have I'm like level 12, and I have I think 11 perks into agility. So my sneak is really good. I just crouch down and things don't even see me. It's like I'm wearing chameleon armor from Fallout 4 or something. It's really crazy. But
I've
Yeah.
totally been using VATS here and there. It works really good when you have like a bunch of little things coming at you, like rats or something, or you got to try and hit that opossum or something like that. You just hit VATS and fire.
Yeah, or when a
Let's
mole
go.
rat pops up behind you, you can just back up, hit
Yep.
VATS.
I am a total VATS fan. I use VATS all the time in Fallout 5. It's my main combat style is VATS all the time. Doesn't matter if it's melee or ballistics or anything. I just I'm a VATS guy. I love the VATS. So
Yeah, I think it should hopefully really work for you, though. I could see
Yeah.
VATS being a real powerful build with the
No,
way it works.
I'm loving it so far. I haven't I'm doing mainly melee, but I haven't really discovered how it works so far. I think I have a card that increases accuracy with each shot and my agility somewhere, and that's really effective because like if I'm only like 30%, like Pat was saying, you just line them up in VATS and let them come at you, but I can do it from further away because if it's like only 30%, I know if I get like 2 pops off, it's already going to be at 50, and then like each shot I get is giving me another 10-15%. So that it's really cool how that works. These perk cards are really fun. I'm excited to see how this all gets together. And like Pat was saying, with private servers, we can limit to like 4 people and stuff. I think that'd be sweet. Then you can actually sort of like design your own super teams where each person has their own concentration and be like, okay, you're the lockpick / sneak / blah blah blah, and you are, it'd just be fun to be able to build out specialties with each person. I think that'd be so fun, and I think it's great that it's going to be flexible, like I mentioned before, that it's not such a permanent static decision with the perk chart like in Fallout 4, but you can swap out these cards. I think that's really nice.
Yeah. And Pat was mentioning the wearing the clothes over your armor. And so
Yeah.
you can just like all these, aesthetic change of clothing, which is cool. I was wondering though, what else besides the vault suit can you wear that will still show the armor that you're wearing? Do you guys know anything else other than the vault suit?
That shows you that shows the armor you're wearing.
Yeah.
Are all
There
of
must
them?
be something like, like Raider long johns or a baseball suit or, the same stuff that works in Fallout 4 that you can wear armor on top of. I don't know. I didn't find anything. I just was wondering if you had.
I've been wearing the Responder's jumpsuit a lot. I just think it looks pretty cool. Been running around in that. No, I haven't seen. But as far as, gosh, I can't even. I'm trying to remember if I can see my chest piece. I might be able to see my chest piece over my clothes. But I think you're right for the most part. Don't they try to cover up all the armor with your clothing pieces?
Yeah, everything I've seen has been that way.
How does clothing work? Where are my +1 endurance / +1 agility clothes? Why am I not getting enough perks out of my clothes? What the hell is up?
It doesn't seem like it's a thing.
That bothers me, Ray.
I know.
I guess they're trying to force you to use the perk cards for that.
I need my glasses to give me perception. I need my hat to give me my dazzling charisma. So when I do my cha-cha, the ladies come to my bidding. Actually, no, I play female. So it'd be with the guy. Well, whatever.
Yeah, I didn't get enough time to play, but I did manage to build 2 characters.
I think you mentioned that already last time, but I'm surprised you don't have 4 already, Ray. Honestly,
I know. I just haven't had that much time to play. Tonight was the first time.
Yeah.
Since Sunday, so. But I'll make up for it.
Nice. Yep. Wednesday or Tuesday late night, Tuesday night. Steve, we were talking about the generator. You said we mapped out 49 levels. Does each level start at 0 then, not at 1?
They start at 1.
They all start at 1. So there's 7 of them. So we should assign 43 levels up to 50 then. Right?
No, but you get to add one every level up to level 50.
Okay. I'm
So
sure.
starting at level, so you start out in the vault at level 1, right? And you run through, and then pretty much by the time you finish picking up stuff and you run out of the vault, it goes ding, and you hit level 2, and that's the first time you get to pick a special.
Yeah, it's when you pick up the perk cards.
Yeah.
Okay. So they don't all. Whatever. I'll understand it when I see it in action. Speaking of in action, December 8th is when we will officially be kicking this character generator into full gear during the ASA Podcasting 12-hour Cystic Fibrosis Charity Marathon, where we'll be broadcasting from, I believe, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And we will be having pretty much all of our shows here at ASA Podcasting all day long, trying to save a few bucks for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. A cause near and dear to those of us here at ASA Podcasting. My son Moses, if you've been listening for a while, you know he does have the diagnosis of cystic fibrosis. He's actually starting a brand new medication here pretty soon. So we're all pretty excited about what's on the horizon, but this sort of medication and research does cost a very pretty penny. So we like to do our little part, whatever we can. It's a very fun event. I look forward to it every year. It's one of the highlights of my year. It's just a lot of fun hanging out all day long. We've got some raffles, some prizes to give away. So come and hang out with us December 8th. But on that day, the Fallout feed will be drawing our characters, and then after that, we'll be discussing our characters, and then after that, we'll be discussing our first batch of quests. Right now, I've been kind of going through 76. I haven't been taking actual physical notes. I've been sort of making mental notes on how this is all sort of working on, and I've been checking in with the wiki. They've been adding new information every day. As I click forward through the wiki, I can see new quests being added to the tail end of the main quest all the time. So people are working their way through it and contributing. So I think we'll be able to do pretty well with getting a nice little round table together here. I'm excited about the prospects of doing this again. And I appreciate everyone out there who will participate with the round table again. But keep in mind that as this game, we sort of learn how this game works. The roundtable will probably mold over time with each season as we sort of learn the ins and outs and the how this game functions. So stick with us there. We'll see what Sarah has to say about her experiences with Fallout 76. Sarah, thanks again for your feedback, and let's hear what she had to say about her new game.
Sarah Saylor here with feedback for the Fallout 76 beta. I play on PC. Was very, very excited last Tuesday to come home from work. Tuesday is one of my late nights at the salon. So I was, I had it all planned out. I had my clothes that weren't covered in hair laying on the bed. And so I live like 3 minutes from the salon that I work at. So I was going to rush home, change really quick. I already had my coffee made. I was ready to go. So I do all that. And I run to the living room and I open up my laptop and I hit the play button and it automatically started downloading that stupid.
Oh, no.
I guess the game deleted and had to re-download whatever that was supposed to have been. The shenanigans on Bethesda's part, which was not cool. It hurt me deep down really, really bad. But anyway, so I didn't get to play on Tuesday. By the time the beta was over, my download was at 24 hours to be completed, which is not cool. Anyway, so I got to play the day after Halloween. Sorry, guys, I sound awful. I've been sick, but I got to play the day after Halloween, and so I played for an hour. Then I had to go pick my kids up from school, and then I came back and I played for a few more hours. I didn't get to play as long as I wanted to, but you know, you have to. Sometimes we have to be adults, even though it's not very much fun. But I was listening to the other feedback, you know, players and everything, and they were talking about how they died and, you know, kept dying and dying. And I was like, oh my gosh, is there something wrong with my game? Because like my first 3 hours that I played, I didn't die at all. And I was like, okay, maybe my game is glitched or something. But anyway, I created my character, and it was hilarious because, you know, on PC, someone didn't have their mic muted, so I got to listen to them talk to themselves for like 15 minutes while they created their character. It was hilarious. So I got my character created. We headed out into the Appalachia wasteland, and just so you know, Andrew, it's Appalachia. I'm an Appalachia girl myself. Technically, I think it's pronounced or properly pronounced Appalachia, but nobody who actually lives in Appalachia pronounces it Appalachia. It's Appalachia, it's Appalachian, you know, all, you know how it is, you know, tomato, potato, whatever. But anyway, so I go out into the, you know, Appalachia Waste, and I like, you know, I'm coming down from the vault, and I got attacked by, I think they're called the Liberators. They're the little spidery looking robots. And I killed 2 of them, and I decided I wasn't really following the main quest per se, but because the marker was there, I just headed in that direction. And came across the overseer's camp, went into that first little town there, I can't remember the name of it, and started, you know, going through terminals and listening to holotapes. And that's one of my favorite things to do with Fallout, is to read all those. And it doesn't matter if I find a terminal that I have read a million times. I love that, I guess, that dedication to the story that Bethesda does. It's just so amazing. Another thing that I noticed with the game, like I said, I think I've said it before, I live in Kentucky, which isn't that far from where I live at in Kentucky, isn't that far from West Virginia. I think it's like maybe a 4-hour drive. No, I'm just guessing. But Bethesda has done this amazing job with the coloration, and I mean, it looks like, I can look at my computer screen. Excuse me. I can look at my computer screen and then look at the game, and with the coloring of the leaves right now, you would think that I was looking into a window. It's just such a good, amazing job. And like, I don't want to do spoilers or anything, but some of the holotapes that I found in the stories on the terminals, I felt like they done such an amazing job capturing the way people in the mountain region think, and how they would react to, you know, the nuclear apocalypse. We always make this joke that the world could end and it would be 10 years later before we found out, because everything in this region is like 10 years behind everybody else. It's everything from fashion choices and hairstyle choices, and there are still people here who expect movies to come out on VHS because they don't want to upgrade to DVD, and you know, we're already past that. And I mean, it's just really, really, really funny. I'm really, really impressed by what I have seen so far from this game. I can't wait to get into it more and to delve into it more and have more time playing it. I I am generally not a multiplayer platform kind of gamer. I like to play solo. Even whenever my husband and I mentioned this in my feedback that I had sent in last week. Even whenever my husband and I played Final Fantasy 11, I didn't like to play online, or well, not online, but I didn't like to play with other people unless I absolutely have to. And that game at the time, it was very, very hard to solo, but I did. About the only time I played in a party was whenever he was on or some of our friends were on. I hardly ever played in parties. I just soloed it. And I do look forward to playing with people with this game, but I don't think that I know a lot of people were worried about the lack of NPCs and all of that. I don't think that there's any lacking there, because whenever you look through stuff, it's just the story is there and it's so rich. And like I said, I can't wait to get into more of it. But anyway, at this point, I think I'm rambling. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut it off now. I will see you all in the wasteland. Bye.
She brings up the colors of West Virginia. That's something I'm really impressed with so far, is the foliage out there on the hillsides and mountainsides and beautiful trees in the valleys. You get up on these big big hilltop peaks, and you can look out over these expansive valleys and see just all these beautiful different trees. And then it makes me think, one of the things that I didn't like about Fallout 4 is that there weren't real seasons. I always felt that would be something like, if they bother having tracking time on a calendar on your Pip-Boy, in February it should be fucking snowy as shit in Boston. It's a sloppy mess in Boston in February. It should just be snow everywhere. And in the summer, it should be balls hot. I never understood that. Why would they bother telling you what the date is if they're not going to, track the weather and tell you all the weather? And, I'm hoping in 76, it's fall right now. I'm hoping that this is just the intro to the game, and by wintertime, that the game actually tracks real-time seasons. That'd be fun. Or just make them faster in the game. Whatever. I don't know. I want seasons. Do you think there's any shot of that?
I bet they'll do something like that for things like Christmas.
They better, Freighter. Everyone, that's going to be the best.
Pretty much every MMO I've ever played has a little bit of that.
Oh, don't say that they're just swinging off the nuts of other MMOs now, Freighter.
Not in a bad way.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with learning from other people.
Learning, ripping off. What's the diff? Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they will put in any seasons. I only saw so much weather. I mean, it rained on me once or twice, but
I don't even know if I've seen that.
No, I definitely had rain today.
Nice. Super sweet. The PC shenanigans. Did anybody get fucked over with the PC stuff that was going on?
I think pretty much everybody did that was on PC.
What actually happened there, Freighter? Do you know?
The day that we were supposed to be able to start playing, fired up Fallout 76, and I can't remember what the button said. It didn't say play where it should say play. It said something else, and then I clicked on it, and it started reinstalling the game from scratch. So that's 47 gigabytes of stuff to download, right as the beta is supposed to start.
So it was funny because they said they put out a message, nobody click anything. What the hell was happening?
Too late. Everybody clicked every button there was trying to fix it.
I actually read somewhere that if you didn't click anything, you could actually go in and delete the thing and reload it, and then you could actually play. So there's some people who were actually lucky enough that they saw the message before they clicked on anything and were able to remedy and do some sort of weird switcheroo, fixeroo type thing. It fucked over most everybody else, though, that they had to, download it again. And, when the servers are busy with loading the actual beta itself, and then also everyone on Earth trying to download it at the same time, the servers are going to go slow as shit. And like Sarah mentioned, is like she's getting, start out 2 hours, I'll be downloading, I'll be playing, and then all of a sudden your download speed, it's going to be ready in 24 hours. Great.
Yeah, they tried to make up for it though. They gave everybody some like bonus hours.
It's like they extended it 2 hours. Way to go, guys. They should do open beta for the last week. I don't know why they didn't do something like that.
I'm surprised they're not doing it right up to the day of release. But anyways, maybe it's like, giving everybody something to look forward to with anticipation.
Those windows, the beta windows, driving me nuts. I can't wait to just play the game. But, everyone's talking about these the beta frame rate issues. Like Fallout 4 didn't ever have frame rate issues.
Yeah, I got some stuttering, and I did crash to desktop once. I'm not sure whether it was a crash to desktop or if it was I got disconnected. I'm not sure, but the game just stopped on me, and I was at my desktop. So that's why
I've had a couple of server failure. Your controllers are inactive, error message type things.
I did read somewhere today that they're forcibly capping the frame rate to try and alleviate some of the issues there, which is great for consoles, but that's kind of lame for the PC community.
Well, we don't give a fuck about you Master Race guys anyway. You know what? During the stress test, that exact same thing happened to me. I thought I had the thing downloaded, ready to go, but oh crap, there was an update for it, so I had to do that update. And I got kicked off, and I couldn't play, and then it took 20 hours, whatever, to download. I missed my opportunity for the stress test. And then it happened to me again.
Oh, no.
For the first Xbox. And I only got to play like 5 minutes at the very end of the first Xbox beta. So it happened to me on the stress test and the beta. So all of you PC people out there who think you're all cool, and then, oh, woe is me. Oh, my blah, blah, blah. I can't play my little game. Happened to me twice, so eat it. Relax out there, guys. You know how I relax? Sorry, Steve, what are you saying?
Oh yeah, just relax, man. That's what this time period's for. Is you're gonna run into these issues. I didn't let any of that bother me. I did run across a couple of like glitches where something would be like a plant half in the ground or something, or I'd kill an enemy and he'd glitch into the ground and I couldn't get his stuff. But that was, really the exception. And I was like, God, do I report that a random thing like that happened? I don't know.
It disappeared into the ground. No, that was a common. That happened with Skyrim all the time. You kill something, falls into the ground.
Oh, totally, yeah.
My favorite glitch that I've seen so far, Steve, and I may have talked about this last week, was a Brahmin that was dead, a dead Brahmin, but it was standing up on the tiptoe of its nose, but it was slightly off at a. It wasn't a 90-degree standing perfectly up and down. It was off at like a 70-degree angle or something like that. But it was like spinning in the counterclockwise. It was rotating and spinning. So it was like doing a ballerina sort of twirl in a small circle. It was really cool. That was my favorite. I think that might be my favorite Bethesda bug I've ever seen, was the twirling Brahmin. And I didn't even get a screen cap of or anything. I was just so taken by the brilliance of what was happening in front of me.
I once, after fast traveling, disappeared into the ground.
Oh, like the ground disappeared from underneath you and you like fell through.
Yeah, I was at my
up into some water or something.
I was at my camp, and I'm guessing it was something to do with the collision detection of my camp. I went to walk up the stairs after fast traveling, and instead of going upstairs, I went under.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fell all the way down.
Didn't kill me or anything.
Yeah.
Interesting view.
Yeah. You guys read any terminals?
Lots of terminals.
I've got some screen caps of terminals. There's lots of good terminals. Well, since it's the main way of dispensing stories and quests, terminals and holotapes and stuff like that, and robots and whatnot.
Have you
There
had
were
to hack
terminals.
any terminals?
Yeah, I've got level 1 hacker card. I haven't got any lock picking cards, but I do have the level 1 hacker card that I've been using. How about you?
No, I have the hacker card, but I haven't run into any terminals to hack.
Nice.
I have picked a couple locks though.
Nice. Do you
And I
have?
was able to also combine, I think it was Action Boy into 2 level 1 Action Boy cards into a level 2 Action Boy card.
And did you have enough invested into agility? Because you then have to have at least 2 in agility to use that card. That's how that works. If you have 2 level 1 cards, you can combine them into a level 2 card and make that 1 card twice as powerful. But then you're limiting yourself with how many points you can have in the. You have to actually have that many points in your special category invested in order to be able to use that card. Now, I accidentally doubled up a perception card. And tripled it up, but then I was like, oh crap, I only have 2, and now I can't use that card. I can't use that card now. I've got to, next time I level up, I've got to put it into perception in order to use that card that I tripled up. So you got to be careful about doing that.
I did not run into that, but I'm sure I will.
Yeah. I've got the triple level of Action Girl, so my AP is humming right along. It's good stuff. So we're all out reading our terminals. And Fallout 76, whereas we run into Radioactive Rebecca, who is reading terminals for us over there in Sanctuary Hills.
This is Rebecca, collecting records from Sanctuary Hills. I made my way straight here from Vault 111. It looks like this was quite a pleasant street before the war. A group of wrecked houses, no sign of life apart from a Mr. Handy just up the road, who seems to be humming a tune while trimming the hedges outside one of the houses. I've only found 1 terminal here, which appears to have belonged to a drug dealer keeping track of customers. It says, "We're in the business of happiness. Sanctuary Hills. De Pietro. Totally high-strung and needs to relax. I keep telling him that, offering to help, but so far no dice. By the looks of the guy, he's self-medicating with pie. Baker. My favourite tinfoil hat-wearing nut job. Good for 7 ampules of day tripper a week. Guess he's a 1-a-day kind of guy. Whatever helps the man groove. Rosa, still trying to get her some buff out. Didn't expect the rationing to affect this, but it is what it is. Jahani, he wants something called Psycho. I'm not sure the stuff even exists. And if it does, do I really want this Neanderthal using it? Guess it depends on how much he's willing to spend. I'll put some feelers out for my army connection, see where that goes. Russell, they still owe me for that last X-Cell delivery. Occurred to me, was it even for them? Because, so help me God, if I find out they're juicing up those dogs, we're going to have words about more than money, but we're probably beyond words anyway. I know they have a floor safe in there. I've seen it. Master bedroom, under the dresser. Can't be that tough to crack, mate. Concord. O'Keefe. Still good for a couple of hits of daddy-o a week. Pretentious pseudo-intellectual arsehole, but his money's good. Williams. Wants Med-X as much as I can get. Hasn't told me why, not really my business. Guessing there's some sort of long-term pain management going on. Disease? Anders. Kids are usually a no-go, but this girl's got style, and she's not interested in getting tweaked. Ordered 20 blood packs, some Halloween stunt or something. Or hell, maybe she's really a vampire. What do I care? She's got her daddy's money. Boston. Isaacs. Some student at CIT. Wants day tripper, X-Cell, and an entire pallet, yes, pallet, of Mentats. Not sure if he's doing crazy experiments, dealing to the other eggheads, or on the verge of a nervous breakdown. Don't care, so long as the money's good. Ward. Young married couple. Good for a couple day tripper per week. Easy order, cool people, no-brainer. McDermott. Cop. Long-time buff-out customer. Running into supply problems. We've had a good thing for years. I'd hate to end it now. And I don't exactly want to risk him getting all noble and law-abiding if he can't get what he wants. That would end very badly for me. Sapolsky. The old lady had upped her daddy-o order. Weird, but profitable. Miscellaneous. Malcolm, potential new customer in Charlestown. Wants Medex. Seems oddly desperate. Might be a cop trying too hard. Need to move slowly. Duchenne. Underwear model from Braintree. Beautiful, intelligent, totally weird. All she's ever wanted is stim packs. 10 plus per week. My imagination continues to run wild. That's the only terminal in Sanctuary Hills, so I'm going down to the Red Rocket truck stop just outside of the town. This is another seemingly empty location, although again it appears as though I'm not far behind someone, because there was a radio playing classical music, which I've switched off so that I can record, and dead mole rats everywhere, which look like recent kills. I'll try and be quick in case they come back. There's only one terminal here. It says, "Welcome, Red Rocket employee. Business entries. New equipment installed. Took some wrangling with the head office, but we finally got all the tools we need to machine our own parts. No more having to pay for Corvega factory parts for the next time they change the spec on a damn fastener. Just take one we got and trim the access down until it fits. Rosa restoration. That Rosa widow in Sanctuary Hills is restoring an old classic Corvega with her son. Nice woman, pretty. Kid seems like kind of a brat, but I guess that's the point of her doing this project with him. Anyway, she's been doing a hell of a job. I was amazed at how much her and the kid have been able to do on their own. The only reason she even came to me is because the engine is out of her depth. I'm sure we can help her out. Safe storage. Jim, take care of these barrels before you leave tonight. Inspectors are coming first thing in the morning. Just hide them with the others. We'll figure out a longer-term solution later. Hey, if nature's going to favour us with a cave right below the shop, who am I to argue? October service logs. Friday, October the 1st. Replaced the brakes in 2075 Fusion Flea Supreme. Wednesday, October the 6th. Monthly service on the Voltec van. No major issues with the vehicle, but that rep is an uppity arsehole. Thursday, October the 14th. Began work on a late model motorcycle, pre-atomic. What seemed to be simply a sticky throttle turned out to be more serious issue with the cables. They're almost all completely degraded. We'll replace with platinum parts. Monday, October the 18th. Coolant leak in one of those new 2077 Corvega coupes, bubble top. They don't make them like they used to. Friday, October the 22nd. Replaced the atomic alternator in a 2073 Corvega. Weird to think that it was just a normal work week for them before the world ended the next day. I'm going to head back to the ranger cabin now to sort out what I've collected so far. I wonder if any volunteers have arrived.
And I'd like to take this opportunity to put a final plug in. Anyone interested in participating in doing a similar project with us? Fallout Terminal Velocity episodes. We're looking for people to go out and read terminals, play holotapes, read letters, any such things. Please, if you're interested in participating, we'd love to have you aboard. There are a couple hundred in Fallout 4, and we're not limiting to just that. We've done some from Fallout 76 already, and we've got upcoming from Pat, some special terminals from Fallout 3 even. So If you have any special ones in any of the Fallout games, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3, 1 or 2 even. I haven't played Fallout 1 and 2, so tell me some about some of those awesome terminals if they had them in the same way back then. So if you're interested in participating, please contact us, thefalloutfeed at gmail.com. And Rebecca will be most happy that you're participating in her little pet project there. That's very nice. Lee is coming up. Freighter also playing around in the Institute there. Hopefully I can talk Ray into doing it, maybe even Sarah, get those people involved. It'll be great. Steve, you want to read some terminals, buddy?
Sure, maybe some of the Nuka World ones.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you can tell us about all the Raider weird stuff that's going on. Gosh, such a
like the weird mind control experiments that the operators are doing and stuff.
Hey, that sounds great, man. I'd love to hear about that stuff. That sounds wonderful. Super, super good. Hey, I'd like to thank Ray for hopping on board and being on the show this evening. Also, Freighter, thanks, man, for hopping on tonight.
Thanks for having me. It's always a good time.
Yeah, great. And Steve, thanks so much for coming on. And thanks seriously for all the hard work and time and everything, the effort that you put in to making our generator look great, work great, and all the little things you'll have to do for us, and it's really appreciated, man. That's
yeah, if people have thoughts, feel free to send them, and we'll see if it can be incorporated.
I mean, seriously though, what else are we can't really think of a ton of stuff, guys, to put into this generator, because it seems like there's so much variance in the perk cards. There's no followers, there's no lovers. We can do factions. We can do, Steve, I think we're doing general areas of where you should build your camp. So
yep,
can't really
there's a few. There's like 6 zones and
so build
gender and name, but that's really easy to switch around in the game as well. You just do it.
Yeah.
And somebody mentioned mutations, but I think those are random, so it'd be hard to say go get this random one.
Yeah, or we say we could treat like the perk cards though. Like, if you get this mutation, you have to try not to lose it. Do not cure your radiation poisoning if you get this cure all of your mutations until you get this one, and then keep that mutation for the rest of the game if you can. Huh? Add a mutation. That'd be fun. Come on.
I can throw it on there, man. Maybe it'll give somebody some inspiration.
I'm fucking grasping at straws at this point, Steve. You see how desperate I am to. Why am I so obsessed with categorizing everything? Why do I have to assign stuff like this? What is wrong with me? I have to organize this stuff in such a hyper super anal way.
You scientists, you always want to categorize things with your Latin and stuff.
Categorize, label, separate, identify. Yeah, that's what we do. But no, it's a lot of fun. I like the character generator. Thanks a lot again, Steve, for all your hard work on that. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Fallout 76, the season 7 roundtable will start after December 8th. Will be our character roll. We're gonna see if we can get a few of the community members on for our marathon to come do some character rolls with us. So keep your ear to the ground. And we appreciate your support for the ASA Podcasting Cystic Fibrosis Charity Marathon that we'll be doing in December. All right. I'd like to thank everyone for listening to this episode of the Fallout Feed. And I'd like to, before we sign off, just remark that next week,
Thank you for
we will be doing, sorry guys, next week we will be doing recording at a special time. We'll be doing Saturday, just so we can have a few people from the roundtable feedback on who, because we record at a pretty inconvenient time for most people who have normal lives and jobs that they have to get up and go to early morning. So we're going to switch it to Saturday so we can get a few people you've heard from the feedback all season long, but they couldn't really make recording sessions. We're going to try to get everyone together and just sort of have a wrap up to season 6. where we just all get together and talk about the season. And then we can get into whatever any of the people have gotten into for Fallout 76. So this will sort of be our transition episode as we switch our concentration from Fallout 4 over to the new game. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Fallout Feed, and we'll see you in the Wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the Wasteland.